Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master this evening. Tonight, we are continuing on with our regular ongoing Star Wars campaign, playing the trilogy of Fantasy Flight games, Star Wars, Force and Destiny, Star Wars, Age of Rebellion, and Star Wars, Edge of the Empire. With me tonight is... Well, actually, not everyone. We're one player down, but we're closer to being fully reunited. I'll start with my left here. With us in person is Steve-O.
Woo!
And Steve, who are you playing?
Hey, good old Ascara, the notorious bounty hunter who's in a bit of a sticky situation.
And next up in my row is Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave. I will be playing Pash the Rustler. Smuggler, ladies' man, and gunner and pilot extraordinaire.
Next up in my line is Jeffrey.
I'm Jeff, and I'm playing a shiny and strange droid named Oddball, and he is basically the hacker and mechanic for the group.
Nice. And resident general, I guess. And then finally, we got Brent.
Hey, and I'm playing Dash Vega, the group Jedi Shadow.
Nice. Okay, so where we last, what I'm going to do is rather than rehash the thing, we're going to jump right in. So first things first, guys, is if everyone could open up their character and make your roll for the Destiny pool. Let's see how fate looks tonight. Get good. Oop, okay, two. Roll your, it's the Destiny pool.
I have no idea.
I don't have two blue. Oh.
Oh, Jeff, yeah, sorry, that was, yeah. I'll add them in. It's fine. Okay. You're not rolling your dice pool, guys. You're rolling to, there you go. However, Pash did it. Dave, can you show Brent how to do what you just did?
Yeah.
My roll was 2 light side though, Ken.
Go to roll Destiny.
Okay, thank you. We got Dash, we got Oscaro, we got
What's everyone?
Ash.
2 dark side, 3 light side.
Nice. Okay, so it's a more balanced than the previous sessions. I should say too. So as Star Wars sessions are wont to go, last session you guys almost got a new ship to add to your fleet.
Oh,
Vendry crashed it.
mother of!
It was
We're there to fly it, Dave.
It was such a great. So because he, what do you call it? He gets ready, and they were supposed to go like flying into this this little settlement that's inside a comet. And he turns around, and looks at the guys, and he's like, "Watch this!" And then he rolls a threat or a despair.
Of course.
So, he went through it at max speed, and it didn't end well. So you guys technically owe this one quartermaster, this rebel quartermaster, a new ship. Okay, so
Henry owes the quartermaster a new ship.
Well, I'm sort of behind by 2 sessions. Anything that I need to know before we...
No, we're just going to get going. We're the last 2 sessions were flashback sessions. Actually,
Okay.
further to my point, the last 2 sessions were done in ones.
Okay.
Yeah, there was, and actually in both sessions there was more story stuff that was introduced. Pash may have hacked off a provincial governor. After he did kind of a Top Gun, buzz the tower maneuver past his control point. And Vendry left a haunting holocam thing on a tied up, like hog-tied, basically Imperial Guardsman woman who was bodyguarding the person that you guys had the bounty on. So I'm sure both of those will end up well. Okay.
I have no doubt.
Yeah. Okay, so where our scene opens, guys, is if we what do you call it? The crawl goes by, talking about Hydara and the appearance on there, and what we see the scene opens with kind of a wipe. The crawl goes away, and then it wipes, and we see this like yellowish brown metal interior, and we hear the whip dripping of water inside, and there's a weird echoey sound as if this thing is what's that sound that you hear of when in submarine movies or in a bathysphere where there's clearly something going on. Sound from outside hits the hull of the ship, is baffled and goes in. And what we see is we hear first a clank clank, and then the camera sort of sees this little bluish aquamarine colored head that kind of pokes around the corner, his little yellow diodes glowing in his face. This, of course, is Oddball. Oddball steps forward, and we see that this is actually like an airlock that he's stepping through. And he steps out into this main larger room, and in the room there are rows and rows and rows of racks that have hanging on them battle droids, underwater battle droids. None of which seem active as Oddball kind of takes in the scene, but he hears from elsewhere in the ship a poink, creak, poink, creak, poink, creak. And this figure comes around the corner, and where are the handouts? Here we go. Oh yes, and
Slide.
here is what you see. Now he looks very much like that. Only one of the legs is much thinner, and if you were a war-oriented character, you may notice that it's actually a B1 droid's leg that has been replaced with one of them, and he drags it behind him, and he sees Oddball and says, "What be ye doing on my ship? I am AHAB."
Oh, I'm Oddball, and as though I'm surprised that this actually worked to board your ship, I suppose I'm here to commandeer it.
Ah, pirates! Well, we know how to deal with pirates on my ship. And I'm going to need you to roll initiative, please. Okay, so just Oddball. Not everyone needs to roll this just yet. Actually, you know what? No, everyone go ahead and roll it. We'll just put you in the. We'll set up some orders here, and I need you to roll. What is it?
It's either cool or vigilance, right?
You are rolling cool. Cool.
Oh, great.
Yeah, the rest of you can roll vigilance.
Oddball is extremely cool for the listeners at home.
Yeah, I think I remember him spazzing out before.
You say this is initiative, sorry?
Yeah, just click on the initiative on vigilance.
No one cool, I thought you did.
Cool. All right, we got 3 hits, all right?
So I'll use that. Okay. All right. So what do we got here, guys? Let me roll initiative for AHAB. I got, what do I got? 1 and 2 advantage, 1 and 2 advantage, 1 and 2 advantage. Okay. Oh, fuck. Dash, look at you.
No, I got to re-roll. For some reason, I had an upgrade, I guess, built in since last time I played the game.
Yeah, you forgot to. Okay, sorry. All right. Okay, so then looks like, guys, Jesus, Dash, how many times are you going to roll?
Should just be one more time. Did not? Oh, okay. Never mind.
It's okay.
Pick the first one up there, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. 1 and 3 is enough. So you guys have 1 PC slot, 1, and then actually I'll say the NPCs go last because I think you guys all beat 1. Oh, except for Oddball. So basically, 3 of you go, then the NPCs, then 1 of you. So Oddball, you will act before this guy. He seems to be raising up a blaster. What are you gonna do?
Okay. I'm going to pull out my last Class A thermal detonator and hold it out and tell him I wouldn't do that if I was you.
Nice. Okay. I'm gonna give you an upgrade here. Go ahead and make an intimidation check for me.
Also, very intimidating. You
Well,
know
let
what?
me set the
Once
difficulty.
per session, I have an ability where I can use intelligence to replace my skill roll. It's called Stroke of Genius.
Steve, set yours at. You have 12 wounds and 6 strain right now.
I'm unconscious.
Are you unconscious? At 12 wounds?
12 wounds, yeah.
Then you were unconscious. I think you may have gone unconscious last round.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
So
I
I
got doing from the last round, right?
Yeah, this is from the. Yeah, remember we wrote down, cleared your character out, and then.
Right.
Yeah, so you were at 12 wounds and 6 strain.
Okay, well, I'm unconscious.
Okay. Okay, sorry, difficulty is set here, Jeff. Go ahead.
But what's the normal roll?
Oh, it's not to intimidate, it's coercion.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my Stroke of Genius ability and roll my intelligence instead of my coercion.
Awesome, good call. Is that once per game or once per session?
Yeah, once per session. Yeah. So how do I roll just my intelligence? Oh, there it is. No dice by it.
No, there isn't. Just pick a skill that has no skill levels in it.
Oh,
That's
okay, yeah. Like this would work. The same.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, so what happens is you take that out, and we see sort of a Leia in Bosch's or in Jabba's lair, where you activate the thing and and he sort of his eyes, we sort of do a tight shot on his eyes, and they kind of get a little brighter, and then we cut outside. And let me see here. First, Dash, when we last left you, you were in the grips. You had like latched onto something with your grapple hook, and you were going in. And as you were blasting or using your lightsaber to deflect the blast, it got shot out of your hands, and you were being pulled into the side of this giant Trident assault ship. And as a reminder oh, god damn it, I should have. Well, you guys have all seen. I was going to post on here the poster I did for tonight's session.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed, Dash, you didn't get actually, let me just grab it. You did not get a headshot on that because you were the star of that poster.
Yeah, I saw it was center in there.
Yeah, so I figured that was why you didn't get also because the original poster didn't have that many people on it, so I ended up going that way instead. So let me just give me a sec here, guys. I knew there was something else I'm going to do before I joined the game. But really, it wouldn't be one of my Star Wars sessions if you didn't get to watch me download images and load them up into Roll20, right? This is clearly what you guys sit around for. Kev, there's nothing more interesting than watching you do clerical work, so. Okay, hold up, guys.
It's good because I haven't seen this picture.
You haven't?
Haven't you? It came on an email like a little while ago.
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
Hold on, I'll get you. And you'll do actually oddballs, and you both get the headshot and these in the background. Where is it? Downloads.
Oh, there. I do have it.
You guys will all be getting printed copies of that as well too, because I got to get ready for the con, and when I do the con printing, I'm going to print off copies of this for you guys as well, and I'll be bringing them with me. Well, you'll get yours in fucking person, but I'll be bringing them with me when I come back to the Winnipeg, as well as your what do you call it? Your wedding poster too, Brent. I forgot to send it back to my parents, so I've got that ready and framed and everything. I just don't want to mail it because the fucking mail will break it.
Yeah, Canada Post.
Well, it's, you know what? Like I was telling Steve, my mom knit a pair of socks for my assistant, and they are showing as delivered, but I still don't fucking have them. So either they delivered the wrong space, or Um, they didn't give me the key to access the like lockbox or whatever.
Maybe, yeah.
Don't worry, it turned into a news story, one of those like last minute sort of news things. 10 years from now, you know, like when the Sox show up and there'll be some like local news station picture.
Yeah.
Story in 10 years.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Let me. You know what? I can. This is what happens when your DM is really more interested in the visual presentation than the actual story. So, you know what I am? Oh my god, I'm the fucking Michael Bay of DMs. This.
You just make tutorials on it.
I am so sorry, guys. Okay, so you're trying to put this in a position so I can. And there we go.
Does that mean you're going to add Megan Fox surreptitiously into that picture somewhere?
Boom.
Yeah. What it means is I'm going to make lots of explosion noises.
And just shake the camera a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
That is Megan Foss in the second diving.
Did you guys see John Wick 2 yet?
No, but I'm just going to bring that up, contrasting Michael Bay with some good fights.
Oh, it's so fucking good. It's just, wow. I will not spoil anything for you. Hey, guys, here we go. Bop, 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 boom. So, in the background is the Trident assault ship that you guys were fighting. So, for those listening at home, this was my poster I did up for tonight's session. Of course, Dash, you are in the foreground, though you're looking quite sinister, I think. That hawkish nose. Patch 2, it really did not turn out the way I wanted. And now that I've listened to more sessions, I realized that I should have used Sam Rockwell as the model for him. But that's just a really shitty cartoon of Matt McConaughey.
Yeah. I can see it now.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not a great likeness, but okay. So, excuse me. Well, what happened is you guys were assaulting this thing, or you guys were moving through the underground or the underwater that geyser fields, right? The one with all the particulates and bubbles and shit coming up that was making it so difficult to see. And that's when you were attacked by this monster. Dash, you would like to try and cut your way into the hull. You had hit it with a grappling hook. You were going in, and then I rolled a triumph when I was attacking you, and it blew the lightsaber out of your hand. So what are you doing?
I would like to use the move power to get my lightsaber back.
I think that's a good idea. I'm going to make that a discipline check, and I would remind you that you have the option of spending light side points. So let me set the difficulty here.
Okay, and I will spend a light side point. And
Okay.
I will
Gotcha.
also use my talisman to add an extra force point.
Good call. Okay. And you haven't used that talisman yet this session, right? I mean, like this adventure.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but I'm not too fussed if we do it. Okay. So, Brent, first off, click on use light side point, and then go ahead and make your roll. The dice pool is ready for you. I've included your upgrade for using a light side point. Ooh, so you're plenty pissed about this and panicked. But why don't you describe first, Brent, what happens here? Oh, and here's one thing. Actually, so this is a non sequitur, guys, or not a non sequitur. It's related to this, but if you would like to describe what happens, like when you roll a success and you roll some advantages, I want you guys would like to feel free to hop in and give the narration of what happens. Okay, because that's. Rather than me constantly prompting, if you have an idea of what what happens, what it's all you're doing is interpreting the dice, which is what I would do. So you guys can go ahead and say what happens. So Brent, what happens?
Okay. Dash feels the fear of the dark side as his lightsaber, the only lightsaber he ever has or ever had, goes falling away into the darkness, and he reaches out instinctively and tries to pull it through, but manages to fight through the fear and find a little shred of peace, and reaches forward, and it comes to him, and it makes it to his hand, and it's a bit more force than he was expecting. So he uses that momentum to further himself up the rope for the advantage.
Love it. What I'll also do, Brent, is I'll give you blue on your attack to try and pierce this hole if that's what your intention is.
Okay.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, you're going in now. Pash. You're sort of like you're looking down. You feel like you're floating in the darkness because you're at kind of zero ballast right now, and you're looking at your hand, and you're trying to move it, and you can't feel it anymore, and you're just like, come on, and then you're trying to will it to move, and it's so cold that it's like, it's in just a kind of a grip, and because the suit has sealed so tightly, you can't even really. It's painful, but it's almost numb. But then you look up and you can see, sure enough, coming streaking towards you in the darkness is two of those Shrogas.
Shroga.
As a reminder, Shrogas are kind of like if you cross a Mako shark with the Great Dane. What are you doing?
Well, Pash will actually use. Bear with me here.
If it's what I think it is, this is going to be awesome.
Let's ride.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
As soon as he sees the Shrogas, he, a little. The concern for his hand kind of slips away, and he realizes he's Pash, and he can ride these, and riding is what he does best.
Okay.
He does this underwater backflip as the Shrogas pass beneath him.
Well,
and
hold on. Before you get too committed to the description, it's with this game in particular, because it's got narrative dice. It's best to roll and then narrate the results rather than like, I do all this awesome shit, and you roll like a despair and be like, never mind.
Oh, I have to roll for Let's Ride?
Well, for this one, because it's for one, they're not quite full size. This is the equivalent of like a teenage kid riding around on a basset hound. You're a little bit too big for this, but you can grab their collar, I think. Now, the hand that Pash cut, is that his dominant hand or his servient hand?
We'll make it a servient hand.
Okay. So nope, I'm going to take away the black that I put in the dice pool. So you go ahead and make an athletics check for me. Well, athletics or acrobatics, whichever one is fits more with what you were kind of trying to describe here.
Okay.
Good girl.
Is acrobatics even is it listed anywhere?
Should be.
Oh, coordination.
Coordination, thank you. So I had too many fucking games. Whew.
Wow. That did not end up well at all.
Okay, well, you got an advantage. So do you want to narrate what happened?
So he goes to pull Let's Ride, but Let's Ride works a lot better in free space with gravity than it does underwater. Something gets translated horribly wrong in trying to jump on the Shroga, and instead of actually landing gracefully on top of them, Pash ends up kicking one, unfortunately, in the head.
Okay. Now, you guys may not have noticed this, but Oskara is unconscious.
At the bottom of the
So let's And I can't remember. Were you on your eel still when that happened, or
I don't remember that. I don't remember being unconscious, but maybe
I don't remember you being unconscious either. And
Well, I remember from another adventure getting knocked out.
let me see here.
Uh,
Yeah, this is definitely from last session because I've got.
but not
The name
not last session, which was everything was in.
You know what? Hold on, Steve. You know what? That might have actually been the. Give me a second. Where's my other notes? That may have actually been the hit points of the thing you were fighting.
Okay.
So, fucking Bush League
I
DM.
I remember I got knocked out once or twice. I didn't think in that situation.
Yeah, hold up. Let me.
But whatever. Yeah. Or we could reverse them if you like. Strain 12, wound 6. I don't know.
Isn't 12 strain higher than your?
No, I have 15 strain.
Then that sounds more right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay. So, Oscar, what are you doing?
Okay. What's next? Am I still fighting something?
Yes, there's the giant thing that's blasting at you guys.
Okay, I still got my heavy blaster.
I think so. You're riding, so
So no.
I think so. I think that's what you would have been using, but
Okay.
to be honest, I don't remember what you were doing. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but I would have the gun with me into the water, but maybe I can't. Maybe I can only use a pistol or something.
Well, you could.
Or ride my knees or pull a stunt.
Yeah, I think because like, are you trained in survival at all?
Well, I'm trained in planetary piloting.
That's not what I asked.
Okay. I'm not trained in survival. No.
No, then you're having to hold on with at least one hand.
Okay.
Survival is the thing that dictates your riding.
Right.
When you make piloting checks as on an animal,
Right.
that's what you're rolling. So
Okay. So, which I'm riding my Shroga, but I'm still fighting one.
you're
And I was
riding
doing
your
something.
eel.
I'm riding my eel, and I was fighting a Shroga.
No, you weren't fighting a Stroga.
Oh.
Third base. You guys were fighting that thing.
Right.
The
What am I think I was heading towards it. No, I was trying to get towards it to get in it. And
I
then
think
we
so,
were
yeah.
together as a group.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Okay, so what are you doing then?
Let's go. And we were heading for the hatch. So
Yes.
unless
Okay, so I'm going to set the difficulty here. Yeah, I think only Oddball was the one who got in there.
right.
You go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Survival check.
It's going to be challenging because there's shit blasting at you.
Right. Okay. Let's go. Booyah! That's a hit with 5 disadvantages. Nice.
Ah,
Okay, so I don't get hit by the leg, right? Because I'm trying to avoid the legs. Is that right?
yeah, the tentacles. But
I get
5.
caught in a jet stream.
Yeah, because if I give that to you all as strain, you're unconscious, aren't you?
That's true. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that. That seems. Although I can do both. With that much threat. Okay, so here's what happens: is 3 of that goes towards blasting you out of your saddle.
Okay. Nice.
So you think you're making a good because you did succeed.
Right.
You're blasted out of the seat of the eel, and you were at the apex of that thing.
Okay.
You're at the perfectly wrong end to get into it.
Okay.
That's what the rest of that threat is for.
All right.
So you kind of you're looking around and like this thing's charging forward because there's gouts of water coming out the back. So as this thing's like just not flying, I guess, swimming, like just, you're moving like a torpedo through the water, and you're kind of speared on the end right now, and you realize like I'm not sure there's any like handholds to grab onto where I'm not going to get ripped off this thing as it goes through. So that's where you are. So our heroes now have their lightsabers back. They're at least near getting the Shrogas to rescue them, and they're managed to dispose of their eel. I've parked my eel successfully. So we're back up to Oddball. Oh no, now we're at we're back inside the craft as well. And this guy looks at you, and actually, I'm gonna. Well, you failed your intimidate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what AHAB does is his eyes kind of after sort of initially being shocked, his little dilating things kind of go back down, and he says, you haven't so your circuits aren't that sturdy. And then he is going to try and blast you, and he hammers some button on the side of him as well. But first, let's see if he hits. Oops. So difficulty is short range. Do you have any dodgy stuff at all there, Jeff?
Dodging? No.
Yeah. Guys, I'm also going to remind you, you can spend light side points to make things more difficult for me.
Right.
So let's rock and roll here. Oh, shit.
Nice. Nice roll.
Wow.
Lord.
Okay.
Good dodge.
He was told his blaster, and it's actually, that is for a heavy blaster rifle. He's actually wielding a heavy blaster, which is 3 less. So it's only, you take 10 points of damage, and the triumph is that he blasts that thing out of your hand, and kind of it rolls to the side and then down beneath one of the gratings. So your
Good
thermal,
Lord.
one of your thermal detonators is out of your hands, and it hasn't been activated yet. Yeah, and then I'll spend that 2 advantage to give you a black on your next action against him, which is right now. What would you like to do?
Rebuild Oddball as a combat droid? Mm.
Well, actually, no. He'll disassemble you quite soon.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
This is where I would insert my no disassemble Stephanie joke, but I'm not going to do that right now.
I guess. Am I blasted to the ground?
No, you're still standing. You're just blasted with his.
Okay, then I'll instead of a thermal detonator, I'll pull out one of my Kurgo Blastworks plasma grenades and toss it at him.
Okay. The dice pool is set for you.
Okay. Do I have? Is there a roll thing on the grenade? Yeah.
Should be. Yep. It's a light throw is or light range is the skill for it.
Lord.
Oh shit. Okay.
I haven't rolled a single success today.
So you're just warming up, getting the dice hot. So you toss this thing. Oh, actually, Jeff, you can narrate it if you like.
Oh, well. I think that he's just so shocked by the damage that he sustained that he's sitting here doing like all these system analysis and checking his memory banks and make sure that like none of his mind's been damaged. That he's not really paying attention to the grenade, and in fact he forgets to activate it before he throws it. The throw is okay, but the grenade was not activated.
So it kind of lands at his feet, plink, and he kind of and looks up. Amateur. We cut outside. Who'd like to go next?
Looks around me. What you guys are done here, right?
What is it? We have 2 options, guys. Rules as written, you can set your order each time. You want to just say once you set your order, we just go in that order?
Doesn't matter for me.
Well, here's the thing: is with doing it that way would be easier, I think, because then we're not having like me ask who's next and then having no one do anything. So why don't we do this? Is we'll assume it's going to be that the same order that you guys went in last round, unless you guys tell me otherwise. Sound good?
Fair enough.
Sure.
Okay. So Dash, you're up. What are you doing?
Trying to get inside. I guess if I'm close enough, I'm going to try to cut my way into the door.
Start by buying a drink. No. Okay, so you what do you call it? You get up on the thing. You activate your lightsaber again because it deactivated when you let go. And all right, so you're on the surface of this thing now. Are you planning on just cutting inside and trying to crawl inside, or what?
I guess that's relative to how close I am to like some kind of entrance hatch.
Okay, so you're going to spend your action to do a perception check for me, please. Let me set the difficulty here. Okay, go ahead. Next up will be Dash. Or Pash, sorry. Once again, that's never happening in a campaign again. Okay, you forgot to take your upgrade out, I think. Something went
The
wrong.
upgrades, lights.
You know that the little recycle symbol in the middle, that will clear your dice pool.
Anything on it? Okay.
That's a great result. I don't want to take that away from you if that's the result it should have been.
Except for the 3 force dice, which I don't know why they're in there.
I think because your dice pool has them in there. If your dice pool shows at the top, if you've got forced dice in there, then it will.
I thought I cleared them. Anyway, they're just ignore them and it should be fine.
Okay, so let's clear your dice pool and then just so it's clear for next time. But yeah, okay. So Brent, what do you think happens there? You got 2 threat and you've got a triumph.
I guess what I'm. He tries to. He comes in. He's focusing on just getting in, and he goes to grab what like the closest point to grab onto it. Misses, falls slightly, but then realizes once because his field of view changes, he's like, "Oh, door."
Yeah, that works perfectly. So it's you're near the where that big window is. So yeah.
And if the triumph is would work strong enough, the door might be also shielded from the firing arc of some of those blasters.
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to shoot Steve last round. Let me quickly do that.
Well, that's what my survival was. So
Oh, and I'll set my force dice now to defense.
Okay. Okay, so you're in, and what I'll say is you there isn't a way of gaining access inside, but your triumph, friend, you sort of feel and use a combo of sense and move object to feel the panel on the inside of it, and then the thing depresses and iris is open, and you swim inside, and then it seals behind you. Now, Pash, what are you doing?
You know what? Pash will try. So there were 2 Shroga, right?
Yes.
He failed miserably with 1. Is the other one still in close enough proximity that he can try to make a grab for it?
You can. Yeah, let me just figure out what. Yep. Okay. The difficulty is set. Go ahead and roll coordination. Hey, sweetie. Hi, my girl. Oh, good.
Mother of. Pash just lets the dark descend upon him and sinks to the bottom and contemplates life and why he's such a failure at grabbing stuff.
But there is 3 advantage there. You know what? You had. Did you roll any advantage last time?
Yeah, I rolled a 1 advantage.
Yeah, 1's not good enough. 3 is you can give yourself a blue for next time.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It sounds like it. Oh,
The Shroga realize what you're trying to do and are now going to try and make it easier.
Or harder.
I was thinking that maybe they're starting to bump you. They're like, "Fuck this, we'll just move them."
We'll just push them.
It's like a dog who had puppies, just like battering them around, trying to like, "No, over here, dummy. Hey." Okay, what you lose? There you go. Good girl. Okay, so then Oscara, what are you doing?
Oscara is going to look in the window where Dash and Pash are and be like banging on the window.
Well, you're on the end of the ship.
Okay.
Remember how long the ship is. So
Right.
you're still on the tip right now. Do you want to try and move your way down?
I guess I'm going to go way down. Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be an athletics check, I think. Let me just set the difficulty here. And that's going to be a little tricky because this thing is moving quite quickly through the water.
How about a coordination? No? All right.
You
Yeah.
I think it's more of a strength thing holding on than it is just being agile here.
Sure. Okay.
So sorry.
That makes sense. Alrighty.
This is gonna be tricky, just so FYI.
Yeah. Okay. How are we doing for light side points?
You guys have 2 left,
Hmm.
and then the Empire wins.
And then the Empire wins. The universe is out of light side.
That's
points.
it. That's just There's a finite pool. Turns out,
All right. Well, let's rock and roll. I'll do it next time if I'm having some troubles. Boom! Yeah. Nice. Okay.
That is nothing but bad.
All right.
Okay, so
I'm glad I didn't use a light side point on that.
what do you think happens here?
Okay, so I'm trying to it's a slippery surface, right? And so I can't grab hold of anything.
Yeah.
And I make no progress. How about that?
No, that's a fall on or full on fail plus a threat.
Plus a threat. All right.
So I think at minimum, you're sort of like, oh, and you bang. You take one strain as you're banging against the side.
Oh no, I'm max on strain now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I think you're unconscious then. No, you're not. No, you're not. I think you start taking it as wounds instead.
Okay.
Let me double check that. Okay,
Now,
so
did you find some kind of a switch or a dial to just like make the dice horrible or what?
The roll 20.
I don't think we've rolled like one success all so far today.
Oh, Brent rolled a triumph.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was including the success. We
Brent, you can feel free to give pointers on how to roll dice properly.
I'm probably the last person who should be doing that.
That does seem like tempting fate.
Oh no! Wait, Oscar rolled one success that came with 5 threats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, so no, you're incapacitated when you're strain threshold.
There we go. Oscar is floating around in the water.
Okay, so you're like, I've got this, and you start moving down, and then suddenly like, well wait, and you sort of fall. It maybe lurches in one direction, and suddenly this thing
Yanks
comes
my
up,
arm.
clarks you, and you're unconscious and moving down the side. And no one is outside right now either.
Mm.
Awesome. Okay, so inside the craft now. So I forgot to say as well too. Sorry, I'm a little rusty getting off the mark here as well. When that guy hit the button, and when that droid hit the button, I should say, Jeff, those droids that are on the racks start moving down as if they're going to be deployed. So it'll be 2 rounds until they're finally like jump down. But yeah, they're and there's like maybe like 6 on one side, 6 on the other side.
Good Lord!
And those rows are about 4 deep. Okay, so that's what he does, and then AHAB will start moving back out of cover, and he says, "Arr, get him, me boys! Bring me back his broken, not carcass." Bring me his shattered casing, and we'll hang him from the mizzenmast. There's no mizzenmast on. But, this AHAB is not the strongest character I've ever introduced in a role-playing game. So, all right. So
Towley.
that's happened. Sorry?
Towley.
Towley? Yeah.
Towley from South.
Yeah, really. It's the weak character. Okay, so AHAB is starting to move back. He's assuming, like, back further into the craft. He's assuming that you're fucked. And he'll close the hatch behind him, actually, too. That's what his other action will be. And it slams down. So that's him. You're unconscious. Top of the round, Oddball, what are you doing? You're looking around. You're seeing these droids coming down.
Do I see any kind of access or any kind of control panel or anything in this area?
Yes, there is.
I head straight over there and try to slice into the ship's computers.
Actually, at the hatch, in the
The door you just closed.
there's a way that it's not a no. I'm assuming it is. Yeah. Like there's a interface port back in the what do you call it? The airlock that you came through.
Okay, I'll head back towards there.
Okay, so that's you move back inside there. Did you want to close the door as well, or you want to leave it open?
Yeah, I'll close the door.
So yeah, that's closed now as well. And I will. You're out. Yeah. So your interface with the computer. Next turn, you'll be able to start trying to slice it. Dash, you're up next. What are you doing? You're standing inside, and where you see yourself is in a similar airlock. It's full of water right now, but I'm assuming you can figure it out. It's Star Wars. Leia can ride a speeder bike. You can figure out how to operate an airlock.
All right. So I move into the ship, but I'm assuming Dash has not.
Well, no, Brett. What you're gonna have to do is spend this thing doesn't instantaneously gush out. You can hit the button, and then it'll start dumping the water out.
Okay. I will do that then.
Okay. So
Do you have elevator music?
It does.
Yeah, I'll sort of just start tapping my fingers on my side, just sort of waiting.
It should be Muzak, so it should be like a soulless version of the Cantina song.
It sounds good. So basically, it's like Dash stuck in an elevator kind of thing, just patiently or impatiently waiting for some of the doors to open.
We see him standing around. He scratches his ass, checks his watch. Okay, we're outside. Pash, what are you doing? Getting a little fed up with these Shroga.
Yeah, you know what? Pash will give it one more attempt.
Okay, let me set the difficulty. You are good to go. Do you want to spend any light side on this, or
How many do we have left?
2?
2? Ugh. Sure, why not?
Okay, so let me hit the upgrade for you. Nope, I'm not taking away your light side points. Okay, it's good to go.
Oh, did you say I could get a blue as well?
Yes, you can. Yeah, go ahead and add it. You want me to do it on my end or your end?
Yeah, I might as well do it on your end.
Okay, done and done. Makes me feel important. There we go. Okay, go ahead. Hey! So
Yay!
what happens there?
Oh, thank merciful heaven. So the Shroga is goes from nudging Pash, and finally Pash is just fed up because he knows he's got this. He as he's floating down, he grabs the reins of the Shroga, pushes himself off, and does a backflip onto his or a somersault, a backward somersault onto the Shroga's back, and rides it like a torpedo towards the vessel.
I don't want to necessarily encourage this, but I watched part of the last session to get ready for this session again. But also around the same time, I was watching multiple seasons of Archer again. So I kept seeing associations between passion is woohoo. So yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, you're starting to be dragged back towards you. You can kind of see you're moving in the direction of where the what do you call it? The Trident assault ship is, and I'll allow you actually to grab the reins of both. So now you got 2 of them that are dragging you along.
You know what? Can I communicate with these things? Is there any way for me to do that?
Do you have any points in survival? You can try. What are you trying to do?
I'm gonna have wait a minute. Did we say that that Steve is incapacitated or not?
You actually may Steve he was starting trying to make his way down. He's gonna be left in the wake of this thing at the end of this round. So if you're chasing behind it, you may actually come upon him. Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone's aware that that's happened yet, though.
Oh, okay. So I mean, that's not that's only player knowledge at this point.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I can't act on something or Pash can't act on something he doesn't know about. So he will continue on.
Okay, so you're starting to make your way towards the thing. So Skara, you're going to be unconscious.
All
Good. Okay. All right. So on the droids are down, and they all kind of leap. The little cone-shaped heads all kind of come to life and in unison. They all turn towards the hatch. Okay, and then it is what do you call it? Dash, you're sort of like waiting in the hatch for this, and then you see a droid sort of in the circular, porthole in the door. You see another droid walk past, and it sort of walks back and looks in. And it's kind of looking at you, and it looks like you saw in the picture there. And you see his little the lights across his whatever it is, the vocalizer are flashing, so you can see he's saying something, but you have no idea what. Oh no! You know what he'll do is, because you're deactivating, he hits a button and he says, "Arr, more pirates!"
Can I stab him through the window?
You can try, sure. Why not? Let me set the difficulty here. We're skipping ahead of Oddball's turn, but Oddball, you'll be up next.
All right. So
I'm going to two black sprint just because I think if you're going for just the glass rather than the door itself, it's going to be a bit of a called shot. So, but otherwise, go ahead. Dice pool's ready for you.
All right. 1 second. It's right here.
Nice. Okay. Why? Oh, you know what, Brent? Make sure you're rolling on your weapon, not your skill, because then it displays the damage, the crit, and all the other stats with it.
Okay, do you want me to re-roll?
No, that's fine. You hit. I don't want to take it away from you. 'Cause I think your thing does 7, doesn't it? 7 with a breach 1.
6.
6.
So plus the 1 would be 7.
Okay. So, you Zorch part of this thing's head.
Can I use the two? Actually, is there light side points available?
There are, but you can't retroactively roll something if that's what you're asking.
No, but I have a talent or an ability I can use that I need a light side point to use.
Yeah, there's 1 left.
Okay, so I'm going to try this combo. So I will activate linked with the 2 light side, the 2 advantage. And then I will use, what's it called? Anatomy lessons, spend a light side point, and then I'll add my int to damage on top of that. So an extra 3 points.
Okay. So you...
And that's my balls out the best I can do.
I'm just trying to think what that's going to look like, because there's only that porthole there.
What if one goes through the porthole and one then goes right through the door?
But the door, you'd be able to breach is ignores 1 point of armor, but this is in
right. Yeah. Well, if you don't see that happen.
No, that still sounds pretty. That sounds cool. That's fine. So what do you call it? Yeah. So you what do you call it? You Zorch it, and then we'll say we'll just you carve them, and then it's sort of as you pull it back, there's the decompression finished, and the door opens up, and his little hand kind of goes up, and you finish him.
Nice.
So you step inside. And you notice this droid seems to have non-matching legs. It's weird. You've seen too many of these cobbled together droids in the last couple of adventures.
Dash shudders. There's not another one.
Really, your Dash thinks is the DM going back to that well again? Okay, so you've gone Oddball. What are you doing?
Slicing into the ship's computer system.
Okay, what are you trying to do with that, though? Are you trying to gain information?
No, I'm trying to deactivate the attack droids that he activated.
Okay. Let me set a difficulty here.
Send them back to their storage racks.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll spend a dark side just to make this interesting.
What's left then?
Okay, and it is good to go. Wait, now it's good to go. Holy shit, fuck. That is awesome.
Oh.
Okay, so
That's something he's good at.
that is so. Yeah, these things start to moving forward, and then they sort of work, and then you hear 12 droids say "Roger, Roger" all at once, and walk back, position, and then they're picked up by the racks and brought back up again. And you look through and kind of laugh. Okay, Pash, you are racing through these dark waters towards this thing, and you see up ahead of you, there's something. There's like a pair of lights that are shining out somewhere, very dim, that are between you and the assault craft.
You know what? Pash's curiosity will get the better of him.
Okay, so you go racing down. Well, I'm assuming you knew what happened to you, so it may not be that far away. So, yeah, sure enough, it's the unconscious form of your colleague, Skara.
Dun dun dun. Thank you for finding me.
And he is fully unconscious, eh?
Yeah, he's fully out.
But
Seems like his suit is still intact, though.
Huh. Okay, that's interesting. If Pash has a stim pack, can he apply it without ruining the integrity of the suit?
I don't think so. No.
Hey, Steve, how?
You know what?
Take your hand.
I don't think a stim pack would help here. It's strain.
Oh,
He's unconscious because of there's no wounds obvious here. He just looks really battered. He's been battered into unconsciousness effectively.
gotcha. You know what? I'll load him onto a Shroga, and yeah.
Well, you remember these things are only they're a Great Dane size, but they're not like pack horses. Like you could grab this guy and try to hold on with one hand and have the Shroga pull you along.
I was gonna see if I can send Oskara either topside or back to the pack that we left behind.
Do undersea suits have a little?
Well, no.
Maybe
Even though this is the Star Wars universe, there still is such a thing called the bends.
Yeah.
So if you want to have an embolism, then by all means, I've enjoyed this character. Psh, activate my suit. But you, you guys are. I think I said like 30. It was 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers below the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, taking him to the surface immediately would not be a good thing. The best bet would be to go back where. Remember, you met. What's his name? Let me check his. I know as soon as I look, I'm gonna fucking remember it. But the name is Olvir Gand. Remember Olvir and his rebels, or his resistance group? They were in that There's a grotto that they were in that had air, so that may be a safe place to bring him.
Would I technically have to bring him, or can I send him on the Shroga?
You can try and do that. It's going to be extraordinarily hard because A, you're not their master. B, you're trying to. Yeah, this is a pretty complicated. It's like trying to tell Emmy.
Ultimately, all they'd really have to do is just go back to their master.
Right, their master is currently elsewhere, and their current order their master gave them was for you to for them to retrieve you and bring you back. I'm going to spend a dark side point on this only because I think this is quite difficult. But go ahead and make your survival check. Let's see if you how you do here. Leia can ride a speeder bike, so who knows?
We still have 3 light side point. Why don't we do that?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
You can't. I thought you couldn't spend a light side point on something that the DM already spent a dark side point on.
Yeah, I should have given him the opportunity to spend it first.
Okay.
So yeah, that's I'm fine with that.
So I'll add that upgrade then, Kev, or have you already done that?
So it's on there for you.
Excellent. In a momento.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so for some unfathomable reason, well, actually, you tell me. I don't want to take away this your opportunity to narrate this. So,
Well, okay, so these Shroga happen to be the same Shroga that I was cavorting with on the way here. We have a bit of a rapport, so the one I pull aside, I basically give direction to bring Oskara back to Olvir. And
you already established, Dave, that Pash names everything he touches. So what's this one called?
call him Marty.
This isn't its actual name. It's what Pash has chosen to call it.
Yep. Actually, because Pash really couldn't give a shit, all Shrogas are named Marty.
Nice.
Marty 1, Marty 2.
Okay.
So he's like, okay, look, Marty, you got one job here. Don't let Olvir down. Take this guy, get him back to your master, and there's a Shroga treat in it when I get back.
It's horrible. It's a horrible thing. These are all terrible fucking monsters, but it seems very pleased, and it kind of bites the back of his suit where the respirator and whatever it is without piercing it, and then kind of takes off in the dark with him.
Nice work.
Okay, so then it is. Let's see here, Oskara, you're being rescued. The thing continues on. Dash or Oskara, who do you Dash or Oddball, who would like to go?
Dash has no idea where he exactly is. He knows he's killed the droid, not familiar with the layout of the ship, so he extinguishes lightsaber and starts exploring in full stealth mode, so sort of cautiously moving forward.
Love that. Okay, so are you going lucky left or are you going righteous right?
Lucky left sounds a way to go.
Okay, lucky left leads you to the cockpit. So you step in there, and again, there's another thing that opens up. This place is like a submarine, right, where there's all sorts of different compartments that seal off hermetically, and you go in, and this seems to be the cockpit. It's similar to a cockpit slash bridge. You can see that there is this thing is effectively set on autopilot right now, and it's sort of racing along. You still hear the blasters firing on auto fire as well too. It looks like there's been a lot of this thing that a lot of the dash of this has been jury rigged.
I've got piloting and gunnery. Is it possible to figure out how to turn off the?
What kind of piloting do you have?
I've got actually. Hold on for a second. I've got 1 point in piloting, and I might not actually have points in gunnery.
Okay, Brent. Remember, there's a difference between piloting planetary and piloting space.
I've got a point in each.
Oh, do you? Okay, great. So yeah, do you want? What would you like to do? What are you trying to do? Shut the guns off, or trying to slow this thing?
First, shut the guns off so it's not attacking my friends.
I think that's going to be easy. I'm not going to make you roll for that. You don't it's automated, but it's easy enough to figure out that you can just turn that off. Okay, and then we'll cut to Oddball. You are still sliced into the computer. What are you doing? This thing. Well, actually, what are you doing?
Well, I don't know that Ahab has gone down, so I'm going to try and take control of more of the ship systems from here.
Yep.
Try and shut down the engine and the navigation so that we can take over the command of it.
Yep. Okay, difficulty is set. I'll use a dark side to make it interesting, and go ahead. Nice. Yep. Success. Okay. So what you find is that much of the control apparatus on this is all automated. So it's designed to be used almost as if it's designed to be operated by a droid at this point, which is not how it is designed to be used. It's been this has been altered so that it'll operate that way, and you're easily able to kill the propulsion on this.
Nice.
Dash, you after you turn the gun off, suddenly the engine cuts out, and you're looking around like, what did I touch?
Is there like a pilot's chair?
Yep.
Okay, I'll move my way to the pilot's chair and see if I can figure out how to drive.
Okay, so you get in there, and yeah, like you think this has got sort of the standard, controls and whatever. So after a little bit of playing around, you think you can figure out how to do that. Oddball, you notice someone is fussing around with the manual controls. You're interfaced enough to know that.
Okay, I'm going to be opening the door that he closed. Remember you said he closed the door? Yeah, so I'm going to open that door, and then I'm going to sneak into the thing, the whatever it's called, the cockpit with my my blaster out.
Okay.
And try and sneak up on whoever's driving the ship, because I think it's Ahab.
So you make your way up, and then you activate or you slice the other door. It opens up, and as you step through that one into it, you see that there are two airlocks on the kind of the waist of the ship. Honey, the cookie's not for you. And then you see sitting on your left is the torn and scorched form of AHAB. Alas, he seems to have met his white whale.
Oddball is very confused.
For being called a whale.
Make a perception check, will you?
Is the DM calling Dash fat?
No, I didn't know he was. That's his weakness. Vanity. Yeah. Oh my God. So maybe you think that there's something even worse in here.
Oddball is gonna put his gun over the top of the captain's chair and to the head of the person and I am the pirate of this ship.
Brent, what is your perception?
3 green and a yellow.
Okay. Why don't you make a stealth check for me, Oddball? Let's just see if you're able to get the drop on old. Holy shit.
No, I failed, but I did get a triumph.
You get a triumph, though, so I'm open for pitches what that does, guys. What do you think? So Dash will hear him coming, but there's some triumph.
Well, he actually manages to get his pistol on him before.
Well, triumph would be a good thing. So,
yeah, but I'm trying to sneak up on you. I don't know who you are.
Right. So, how about because you failed? So I notice you, but you startle me, and we knock a button that brings the ship's controls fully online. Yep.
You also see there's one dashboard that says, or the one little display thing, and it's basically movement outside of a ship. So you also can see basically where everyone else is.
Cool.
Huh. Okay, so what are you guys doing now?
It's like, whoa, Dash!
Sorry, Rod, you scared me.
Well, go ahead, guys.
How to open the doors and let our friends in? I think I can fly this thing or drive it.
Absolutely, and I'll walk over to the main control panel now.
Okay, so yeah,
I don't need to roll to control this ship.
Yeah, you can get this thing fully under control. Dash, what are you doing during this time? Or Pash, rather.
Well, have I reached the ship yet?
Now that it's stopped, yeah, after a little bit. I mean, you unfortunately aren't moving as quick as this thing, but you are, now that it's stopped, you're able to catch up to it. And as you approach, you notice that the guns aren't firing any longer, and the thing seems to be at a still. Its big tentacles are sort of hanging limp beside it.
Oh, and hey, while we're doing this, I'll be asking Odd. Dash is sort of confused. He's like, Odd, have you seen anyone on here? I've only run into one droid so far.
There's about 18 to 24 attack droids back there. I shut them off.
Halfway before he says shut them off, Dash half leaps up out of the seat.
Yeah. Okay.
Then sits back down again when I get the shut out fart.
Okay. What are you guys doing now? Ship is under control. You know where there's the sensor that's showing you what's around you. It seems like there is two not signals. What are they? Two I guess beacons or whatever that are approaching you. Two pings approaching.
Is Pash there yet?
Not yet. He's on his way in.
You know what? Pash is actually trying to figure out what a great treat for Shruga would be.
Okay. Spending a lot of thought. Okay. Oddball and Dash, what are you doing?
Just bringing the ship under control and getting a stop till other people can board.
Well,
Or
what do you
moving toward them, I guess, maybe.
Sorry?
Or maybe moving towards them so it's easier for them.
Do you think maybe there's a crucial first step before you start doing that?
Oh yeah, open the comms and tell them what's going on. How about that?
That sounds like an excellent plan. I really would have liked you guys chasing.
My voice and start breathing deeply.
Yeah. Okay, so the comms are open, and you're able to contact all of the surviving resistance members, as well as Pash. Oscara doesn't seem to respond.
Glug.
Glug.
Okay, I'll ask if anyone's seen a Skara. Does anyone know what happened to Skara? He's not responding to his comms.
Pash will get on his comm and explain that he's safe and sound and gone back to Olvir.
Do you describe it as feeding him to a Shroga?
I thought it was
Not in those terms exactly. Escorted by, I think, would be the term that Pash would use.
Yeah. I mean,
Pash, are you on the ship now?
I don't think as yet.
Okay.
What do you want around by the time that Pash gets to the ship? Oscara he'll have met up with the other the resistance members.
Okay.
As soon as Oddball sees Pash, he's like, "Oh my God, what have you done to your hand?" And he asks him to see it.
Speaking of which, okay, this is something I was thinking about this morning actually. So you get it off, and you realize once you get inside Pash. Well, first off, guys, because you're having an opportunity to rest, everyone can roll a cool or discipline check, and you recover however many hits you roll. That's how much strain you recover. You clear the dice pool. So
me too, but
you as well. Yeah, you as well.
I'm still unconscious, I think. Or,
Yeah. Well, let's see. Hopefully, you roll some.
I don't really have any strange. It's
rolling.
Either cool or discipline.
Okay. Looks like it's cool.
Pash, nice. Pash, nice. Oscara, good. So you're recovering 2 then. Pash, you recover 4. Dash, you recover 4.
Yay.
Oddball, you didn't suffer any strain?
No. I just want to point out, Kev, I actually have a thing called
Are those wounds
Resolve?
a strain, Kev?
Strain. Wounds take longer to heal.
I have a thing called Resolve, and I have 2 ranks of it. So every time I take strain, I take 2 less.
Oh, wow. Down to a minimum
So
of
just so you
1.
know, that's why a lot of times I don't actually end up with strain when I'm like, oh, you take a strain, or it doesn't count if I take voluntary strain, but
So it doesn't count for involuntary?
no, for voluntary.
For voluntary strain, okay. Okay.
But like when I roll stuff like and it strains me, then I don't actually take the permanent strain damage.
That's fine. No, I wasn't. So I wasn't surprised. That's an awesome ability. I'm just
Yeah.
wanting to.
It's like one of my main abilities as a saboteur. That's what they get. So
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, guys, one other thing that I because I've been watching a lot of other podcasts lately. Well, all the time. Rather than having me duck off to go to the washroom constantly throughout things, do we want to set like at an hour and a half we'll take a break, and then an hour and a half after we'll take a break, and then finish up the last half hour?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yep.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
about time for the piss?
Yes, let's take a 5-minute break right now, guys. We'll grab drinks, and then we'll come back and continue on.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Boom.
You want more coffee?
I didn't have coffee.
Yeah, certainly. I'll also pour on some water.
Shit.
You don't want to be up all night. Don't want to be up all night.
Yeah. My secret plan to get you to get me all my loot boxes.
You're right. Yes.
Fly with coffee.
That's right. Drink all the coffee you want, Steve. It's like providing free coffee at work.
Hey, sweetie. Hi, big eyes. Are you cute? Are you pretty? Girl. Oh my gosh.
It's such a funny expression, but
Oh, that's a smile. See the little.
right.
Hello, sweetie. What you doing? Get that thing. Hey, get that thing.
So the washroom.
Very good.
You'll sell the band.
Enjoy.
Oh, I intend.
I will. A little more recorded education, anyone? Maybe I'll skip it.
Oh my gosh, that fucking chili is getting so heavy.
That was a big bowl of chili.
Oh, it's a big bowl of chili. It's like a rock in the stomach. A very tasty rock, mind you.
Not especially farty chili that you make. I'm impressed because it doesn't take much to make me fart.
I'm well aware. I don't know why. All right, we should have got his no disintegrations as well. Nice disintegrations. Oh my gosh. Hey, sweetie. My back's been doing better. Well,
The power of Steve's ass, as Andreas used to say. He's always familiar with it.
I imagine.
He's like, it's impressive. Like, it's kind of like it doesn't go anywhere. It just kind of stays there for a long time. It like, doesn't move with the wind or anything. It's sort of, it's a little bit preternatural. Yeah.
It's amazing what happens
it's
when
a talent.
you shit yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Hey, sweetie.
Yeah.
Oh, you good
It is
girl.
happily chewing. Chewing. What is good in life can we do? Chewing.
Yep. Oh, boy.
To see your neighbors driven before you.
To crush your enemies.
Their cats.
See them driven before you. Hear their lamentations of their women. And get a good chew toy.
And chew.
A good chew toy. Yes. Oh my god, we gotta play Conan again sometime soon. Once February's over, I gotta finish up get my hours back up, and then
Time for another era.
oh my god.
I turn 42 next month.
Oh, I know. I'm seeing the. What, do you want to do anything special for your birthday?
Oh god, I really thought. Well, what I'm doing is I'm trying to finish 200 books. I'm at 195 right now on my reading list.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing for myself. And aside from that, I really didn't have any plans. I mean, I shot an email to Elsa. I haven't heard back. I'm sure I will. Shot an email to Gareth. He said you're still in town. I haven't really thought about much.
Yeah. We'll see if you've got anything in mind. Let me know.
Sure. Yeah, maybe come over to Mom's or something. We'll have a dinner there or something. Or
Yeah, sure. On the 18th, we'll play Undercity again.
boom. Perfect. Yeah, I love it. Well, boy, we have lots of abilities.
Fuck, that was a great game. That was a
That's
great session.
hilarious.
Yeah.
133 experience points. There's still lots to go. I mean, I think we'll probably because you want them all by the last round, right?
Well, and you know what we'll see is I think that we'll see the difficulty go up as we go, and if we find that things are too easy for us, we can just flip them over and go to the epics and to dial up the difficulty of things.
I'll take care of that. Yeah.
Because like it was pretty fucking touch and go at a couple moments. In
Oh, yeah. I'm a little stronger now with the new abilities that I imagine everyone is.
Yeah.
So you have to be a little.
Oh, Jeff. Gotcha for the Shadow of the Demon Lord game. I'm going to flip you an email this weekend with it's going to be giving you information for what you will because you know stuff that Steve doesn't know. There's information I want to pass your way, and you can choose to disseminate it how you decide.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. You have 2 DMs in that campaign.
All right. Fun.
Fuck, that fight in that on Wednesday was way fucking tougher than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Oh yeah, because they all spit out those little fairies. It was quite dangerous.
Yeah, those little fairies do a lot more damage than it's not that they do a lot. Well, that they do much more damage. That they hit so fucking often because their agility was so high.
Right.
Yeah, they're really agile little creatures.
Yeah.
Hobie the tank, sucking up the damage for the team again.
Yeah.
Hobie, go get him.
You guys really need to get Praetor as your tank. I can't believe he heals 1d. Is it 1d6 each round?
Wow.
Yeah, 1d6 of regeneration.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
That
that.
was awesome.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's why Matt just kind of leaves him in the combat and tries to stay out of it.
Hangs back.
Yeah. Oh, his abilities or his spells are. It's been interesting seeing how you've been using them to just like segregate guys or move them.
Yeah, it's a fun character. I like him.
I'm glad. So I thought that I knew that there was more interesting things to be done with the game with Shadow than what than just a straight like roll like what you could do in any other game, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's
that's awesome.
Especially with the although I should. What we'll do is at the next session, I'm going to give you guys your fortune back, and then you guys will because no one had fortune in that one, and I'm pretty sure someone did. Like I said, yeah, because I don't think you all used it the previous session. And one of the things you can do with fortune is, in addition to buying a success for yourself, you can give the fortune to someone else, and they get 2 boons on it. So if you give your fortune for someone else's benefit, they get 2 boons on that roll.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And I think there's a third. Excuse me. A third option too. Yeah. All right. That has been more than 5 minutes. Dave, Brent, you guys back?
Making margaritas.
Yeah.
Hey Jeff, you seen Hardcore Henry?
Yeah, I actually own it.
Oh yeah, you like it, eh?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's great.
That's a great movie. I thought it was great.
That's what Steve was saying that earlier, and like I was saying, like it. Jaden and I saw the trailer for that. I'm like, this looks like the worst fucking movie ever.
It's yeah. I'm sure the trailer wasn't that good because it's Charlton Copley for one thing, right? Like it's playing the guy you can see, and then the hero. It's very gimmicky.
Like I get it. It's like it's like a YouTube clip but made into a film. You know, it's like a it's actually there's a lot of clever directing done in this and editing and computer graphics. Because it looks like it's one full shot. It looks like it's one continuous scene from the beginning of the movie to the end. It's not, but it looks like it is. It's all through the guy's eyes the entire time. It's actually really well done. Well, it's a GoPro because I've seen stuff like that before where it's been stuntmen using the GoPro from it, which I should shit. I'll send you guys the link to. Have you seen John Wick 2 yet?
No, I haven't.
Aha! I'll go with you. Once February's over.
Okay.
But yeah, what do you call it? Shit. Oh, you know what comes out? Logan. Out in 2 weeks.
March 4th. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me take you to the movies for your birthday.
Sure, man. Have a deal.
Right. Yeah. Done. Absolutely. Done. We'll go see that.
Right.
Yeah, that film was fucking great.
Old Man Logan.
I would brace yourselves, guys, for me wanting to run champions again after seeing that.
Hey, I'm ready.
I was saying this to Steve though, like I'm restraining myself from running I'm trying to tie up loose ends here. So we're gonna play Shadow of the Demon Lord through to level 10, and then we'll fuck around with other stuff.
Nice.
Okay, so that way you guys can. And I mean, there are rules for going past 10, but it really would be cool to see at least one game where we go all the way to 10. Like to the end of the game.
Friends are very bad at telling time.
Yeah, seriously. Dang.
I went for a smoke, I took a pee, and I made a drink.
Oh, yeah. Like, I made tea. I mean, go ahead. Let's make it clear that 5 minutes doesn't mean
Tea time.
Well, sorry, I didn't make the water's ready for you. I just didn't make.
5 minutes theater time, as we used to say.
No, you're gonna need to make more water.
Oh.
What a terrible host.
Sorry,
Let's see. Dave, Brent, Dave.
Where'd they go? Went for cigarettes.
If they're both. No. Brent might smoke sometimes when he's drinking, but
Right.
I'm not. I don't know. Hi. Hey, doofus. Hi. Wait, Dave, Brent.
They fell
Brent.
into a pit. Are they at Brent's house?
Yeah.
How you doing, baby?
I'm picturing them at asleep at a table together right now because they're both on what do you call it?
African time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys, let's just. Jesus. It's been.
They're
10
actually right there. They both just laid down on the couch for the 5 minutes and fell asleep.
Brent, Dave. You know what I'll do is just for every minute that goes by, I'll take away one of their talents.
Nice. 20 points. 20 points, man. Dedication.
The dark side points are just accumulating.
Yeah, really. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these the posters, but they really don't take that long. And because we only play every 2 weeks, I need something to draw in between. So you guys may see a lot of these things going forward.
Well, yeah, you're doing your like a drawing a day, right? So
Yeah. Well, I'm into this is my 4th or 5th year of doing it. So 4th
Yeah,
year. I
pretty
think.
amazing. Yeah, man, you just
Yeah.
draw all the time. Yeah.
Well, I said I'd crunched the numbers before, and it's something like 38 days straight or something like
yeah, nice,
of
about an hour,
hours. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So. Mom.
It's about as much time as I spent playing Call of Duty, I think.
Yep, there you go. What else?
How's the weather out there in Winnipeg?
it's getting cold now again. It was really nice for a bit there, but
You don't watch hockey, do you?
I hear them. Yeah, I watch a bit of hockey.
Yeah. How you liking Winnipeg right now?
Oh, a little bit disappointing this season.
Not bad. I mean, Laney's pretty darn good. Yeah.
Oh man, Laney is crazy good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
actually, Shifley's really come into his own too.
He's a great player. Yeah, I know you guys have got a lot of good players.
Dave, is Brett back with you too?
He is.
Okay, guys, that was 15 minutes, not 5.
Oh.
We were simultaneously juicing, having got free banana bread.
I'm not sure that. So that was worth wasting 10 minutes of our time.
Apologies.
It's okay. I'm sure it's good banana bread, but just if we're going to take these breaks, we need to keep them to 5 minutes. Otherwise, we're spending 45 minutes of our session on break time. Okay.
That's what you do at work, not here.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you have a job. We're assuming that you guys are all on board now, and what we're going to do is oddball. Let me set the difficulty for the medicine check here, and let me think about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
Did you get
what
one
is
blue?
you're trying to treat that hand, right?
Hey, is there
Yeah.
any light side points left, Kev?
There are, yes.
Okay, because the group does have like a medical pack. If someone wants to, like, we could spend a light side point to say Oddball brought it with him.
You can, yeah, absolutely.
And then that will add to your roll.
Do you want to do that? So someone click on the light side point then, please.
Well, how good is your medicine?
Pretty good. Oh, here I'll click on the light side because it's me doing it.
Okay. Okay, I'll give you your upgrade. All right.
There we go. Skills. My medicine's actually pretty good, Dave. Ready?
Yep.
Oh,
Nice.
Wow.
So
sorry.
so it's a fail, but with a fuck ton of advantage.
It's a triumphant fail.
Yeah.
It is a triumphant fail, truly.
So it's like I can't do anything to help you right now, but if we can make it back to the Argent Shadow, maybe within a certain amount of time, I might be able to do something. Or
Yeah.
somewhere with a medical facility.
He cannot get it functioning. I'll agree with that. You're not going to lose the hand. You just can't use it right, until you get proper treatment. There's some kind of thing that what am I talking about? It's Bacta. It's always Bacta.
Yeah.
So a Bacta tank needs to be applied here.
So basically, Oddball couldn't fix Pasha's hand, but he could give him a hand job.
Well, his dominant hand is fine. It'll just feel like, feel a little loose with that other hand. Okay, so and also, so Skara, how many?
Oddball offers to attach one of Ahab's hands for you.
All right. We're going to assume that some of the, we'll say that, well, unfortunately, Squammed here. Let me move back to the sheet with everyone's, all the NPCs on it. So unfortunately, Squammed here was not found. I remember he was the first one of the group to be snagged by the Squammed was that old Quarren that Dash was talking to, the old war vet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's missing. Olvir, and one of his lieutenants, a big Chagrian, come in. Actually, I keep making everyone Chagrians. I'll say it's a Moncal. So they're inside the ship as well. And Olvir lets you know that this ship is like, this is the kind of thing that the Separatists would send against us. This thing's got to be, at least 20 years old, possibly 25.
All right. So is this a ship that we could use as currency?
Oh, it's not a droid.
True.
There's a bunch of droids on it.
There are droids.
That really odd droid. Well, what's left in a really odd-looking droid.
Yeah, you sort of damaged that thing beyond repair.
But there's like 18 to 24 of those other droids.
There are, but do you guys remember what you came here for?
I thought we were trying to get some kind of a bartering power with Dr. Pakabar.
You were, yeah. And there was, remember there was one of the, sorry, I can't find my fucking notes right now, but one of the resistance members was basically collecting these droids. They were using those electric fish to disable them. And then they were collected, and there was a whole cache of them hidden somewhere in this region.
Oh, okay. Well, we can use this sub to go find the horde.
Well,
Or
what
the
if the sub it's full of droids? What if one of them is there? Oddball, is there a way to track the ship's navigation history?
I think so. Yeah.
Sure.
So why don't you make a? Let me clear my dice pool here. Go ahead and make a computers check for me. Let's see how you do.
Okay, Kevin, slicing only the connection part, or like when you're trying to go against the system. So now I wouldn't use my 2 blue, right?
You're trying to. Well, you don't have.
Now I'm just using the computer, right?
Yeah, I should say, like I don't remember. There's much more complicated rules for slicing in one of the new Jedi books, but I don't remember what they do. So what I'm just going to say is that like you don't have administrator rights right now on this thing, so it would still count
So
as.
I'm still basically slicing into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so you take 1 point of strain just from the feedback from this thing, but yeah, you can track basically the full sort of search pattern that this thing does, as well as and it because this is a pirate's ship, you can sort of see on the display, and then it kind of goes doot 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 doot, and then there's an X that appears where the cache is.
Oh, nice. Oddball points at the screen. He's like, I do believe our treasure is right here. And he points at the X. Shall I plot a chart? Shall I plot a chart there?
Yep, plug it in, Odd.
Okay, he programs the navigation computer to direct them to the X.
Okay, so you got the path back there, and then Dash, are you going to pilot this sucker?
Yes.
Okay, so you get in, and this thing sort of from outside we can see the lights, like the running lights, sort of all come back on the side, and then its legs kind of or tentacles sort of move up into position. Then they all sort of jerk back as if to propel it forward, and the propulsion unit activates again, and this thing begins, swimming, or it's not swimming. What does a sub do? A sub doesn't swim. What does it do? Moves?
Well, it's
Travels? I don't know. What's the verb I'm looking for here?
No, I know what you mean.
I don't know.
Propels? I have no idea.
I wanted to say supercavitate because I know that's a thing, but that's not what you're doing.
Nice.
That's what they create. Create a spot of air in front so that like effectively jet engines can work. That's how what do you call it? Like the hydroplanes or whatever. Not hydroplanes. What are they called?
Jet skis?
What's the thing that they try and that
Torpedoes?
James Bond tries to get knocked over with?
The James Bond tries to get knocked over.
Remember, there's the when he gets thrown over the boat. It's an 80s film, and he's dragged back and forth by that fucking thing, and they're trying to get him cut up so the sharks will eat him. I know that's like every James Bond film with sharks, but
is it one of those engines that you
hydrofoil?
hydrofoil? Okay.
No, that's a above water thing, though, isn't it?
I feel like that may be like the Betamax of marine travel technology because I don't think it goes anywhere anymore.
It's got
But-
It would be like a jet ski or a jet ski boat type thing where it grabs the water and shoots it out the back, right?
Yeah, that's not supercavitation. That's what supercavitation allows something to do is move faster through water than it should be able to
like a liminal
safely
sheet,
do.
like on a torpedo when you release the air and it launches
Yeah.
it with air.
Anyway, this is how the fuck did I get into this?
Yeah. Anyways,
It's been a long week. Sorry,
submarines do.
the minutia of underwater combat.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
Pash will kind of like saunter up to Dash and ask him if he's feeling tired and he needs somebody to pilot the ship for him for a little bit.
Dash just looks down at Pasha's hand and goes, I'm okay.
It's discolored and all those veins that are broken on it.
Pasha kind of walks away for a couple minutes, comes back 5 minutes later, and tells Dash that the Lascara is asking for him in the back.
Dash sighs, stares at him, stares at Pash, then gets out of the chair and shakes his head and walks away, or walks a couple paces back.
As Pash vaults into the captain's chair.
The ship suddenly lurches to the side. Okay, so you guys reach the location. As you're traveling along it, you're still moving through that same really bizarre underwater scape, which you can see a little better now that you're inside this thing. The rest of the resistance members, incidentally, are going to travel back to take their wounded and whatnot and travel back to the base and leave you guys now that you have this assault ship to get you there. As you're traveling through, remember there's all these bubbles that are sort of coming up, and there's particulates in the water. So even when you shine a light on, it's as if like there's all this shit floating in the water. So visibility is really difficult. You're really having to rely on your instruments here, Pash, to make your way in. But you sort of you're moving along. You guys are all looking out the porthole, trying to see where you're going, and then almost without warning, suddenly there is this sheer cliff. And Pash, because you've been, I guess, tracking this on the instruments, and I'm assuming you're the type of pilot who likes to scare his passengers. That you're the guy who pumps the brakes when the girlfriend's trying to fix her makeup. So you, everyone sees the other thing kind of, and you masterfully maneuver this thing to the side, so that it narrowly misses this and travels along. What this is a place where a part of the shelf has dropped down about maybe 50 to 100 meters, and it's along here near one of the fissures, I guess, where it is up and down, is where the entrance to the cache is located. You can see that the entrance is large enough for this whole thing to squeeze through narrowly. Pash, are you going through at full bore, or are you going to go slow down to make it at a safe speed?
You know what? Pash will go in at full bore, but throttle down just in time to pass through without with significant chance of success.
Okay, so it's like that scene from what is it, Wrath of Khan, where they're trying to fly the Enterprise out, and at the very last second they decouple the things, and everyone else on board is like, should someone say something? I think someone should say something. Someone say something.
Yeah.
So you move in, and then you're moving through. And for those of you inside, this whole thing seems like you can see the stone walls on the inside of this cavern. It's actually a little bit larger than what the vessel is. It's moving along. There's a moment when it sort of dawns on you that this may actually be a warren, or an abandoned warren from some massive abyssal monster.
Nice.
But you don't think that for very long, and you kind of it moves through and then up into a similar kind of grotto type area to where Olvir and his allies were camped. The ship surfaces, and you can see outside as it surfaces, there's kind of a boom, 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 and some lights come on, illuminating a massively long chamber. There is a not crude, but a very worn and old dock that is here, where there's it's been fashioned together clearly with scrap metal and so forth. But there is a dock here. Kate, it's clean. I think it's clean. Thank you. Then what are you guys going to do? Oh, and let's see. What else do you detect? You also see there are rows of droids in here. Battle droids, droidicas, some big crab droids as well.
Ooh, cool.
So now we know how to free our ship. We just invade it with a large army.
Actually, that's really not a bad idea at all.
That was sarcastic.
No,
Oddball immediately begins examining them and seeing if any of them can be restored.
Or are you getting out of the ship then?
Oh yeah, Oddball is going to get off the ship.
Oh, okay, you died. What do the rest of you guys want to do? No. So you go to one of the airlocks, and it opens up, and it just so happens that it's right at the same level as this platform. So Oddball is clearly intent on leaving the ship. What about the rest of you guys?
Pash will stay on board. He's going to figure out the weapon systems. Like he's basically completely immersed himself in the workings of the Trident.
Okay. So yeah, you're really learning the ins and out of this ship. Okay. Dash and Oscara.
I guess we can. I don't have anything to do on the ship, so I can accompany Oddball. Maybe I can help out or something.
Sure. Yeah, I know. I'll put myself back together, I guess, and then resume my duties as the.
Okay.
Old Painless is waiting for you.
So I'm sorry. Did you say you're going with him?
Yeah, I'll go into the.
All right.
Yeah.
So you got your. Do you guys want to continue wearing your armor, the underwater stuff you were wearing, or are you going to?
Put yourselves up.
Yeah, or are you going to change into your normal garb? Although I guess I don't know whether you would have brought it with you. I mean, like your Mandalorian armor is not environmentally sealed; it's not pressure sealed, so you wouldn't have been wearing it. But I'm not sure how you, whether you want to bring that, whether you'd be able to bring that down
underneath my suit. I get
No, you can't.
You can't. Well, then that's
No.
that. Then I guess. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for you guys between sessions, you all got gear.
Yeah.
Oscara got a set of Mandalorian armor that conceals 2 blaster pistols.
Oh, boom.
It's like
Sweet.
Boba Fett's armor, effectively, or
Yeah.
Jango Fett's armor.
And I got some spare slots for mods if anyone has any suggestions or requests.
Okay, cool. Dash just had armored clothing, so technically he probably just wore that under his, because it's just his average regular clothing.
No, but it's armored clothing, though.
Oh yeah, probably. Well then, yeah, if it didn't fit under that, you went.
And I don't think, yeah, 'cause, like, those undersea suits, I imagine it's effectively like a skin suit that you're wearing underneath that.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense.
So just these things do give you 1 armor, like one soak. So it's not nothing. It's just that it's quite, if you had something else that was better or did other things that you wanted to change into. I think your armored clothing, Brent, though, even though it's armor, I think you could have stored that in some kind of canister or something like that if you wanted to. But,
I don't know if it would have been worth it. It might not have made sense to do so.
I don't think so either, but I wanted to give you that option. Okay, so then Oddball, Dash, and Oscara, you step out of the ship. What are you guys doing?
Well, I will. All the technical stuff is not really Dash's forte, so you'll just sort of follow Oddball's lead
Okay.
and be really impressed with the old Clone Wars stuff.
Okay. So as you guys are stepping out, each footfall is carrying out both across the water and echoing around the cave as well too. In that, I don't know if you've ever been in a large body or everyone's been in a pool, but if you've been in a pool when no one else is there and made noise, there's a weird echo that comes from the water as well too, and that's what you're hearing right now. Is that really metallic rasp that's of each footfall that's echoing off the walls as you're making your way in. As you are the deck or the dock itself is maybe about 20 feet long, and so it takes you very little time to get to. Actually, it would have to be longer than that. I'll say 50 feet long. Excuse me, and you get to the other end of it, and you can see that there are those rows and rows of droids ahead of you. What are you guys doing?
Oddball is examining the droids.
Okay. What are you examining them for? What are you looking for?
To see if any of them are functional or if you can do anything with any of them.
Yeah, I mean, they're all potentially functional. They're all in sort of a power saving mode. So they're offline right now, but they can be brought online.
Okay, well, Oddball would like to rescue them.
Okay. So yeah, you start messing around with one. Now the concern is you don't know what their programming is right now.
Right. Okay.
So, are you telling everyone else this is what you're doing, or are you just starting to go to work on it?
Well, I'm not necessarily turning them on. I'm checking going through them and checking their programming.
Okay. So, why don't you make a computers check for me?
Okay.
Let me set the difficulty here for you. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
And is this a slicing thing?
And actually, I'm going to spend a dark side because I wanna. Yes, it's a slicing thing.
Dang. Well, that was close.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, these things are currently set so that they obey AH8 or AHAB.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So then I'm going to remove that part from their programming.
Okay. There's like 1,000 droids down here though. So and it takes.
Okay. Well, then I'll be telling everybody that we should be taking them all,
Okay.
or as many as we can, or maybe finding a way to take them all.
And Dash and Scar, what do you guys think about that?
Okay.
Well, how do you phrase it?
We must be setting these prisoners free.
Oscar kind of rolls his eyes. Oh, yeah, whatever. He sort of keeps an eye out for enemies.
Okay.
Dash actually looks at Oddball and says, define setting them free.
Well, we must bring them back to society and let them fulfill the purpose they were created for.
Their purpose.
No droid is satisfied sitting in the dark cave deactivated.
This is an army from the Clone Wars. This is a separatist army. Their purpose was to destroy society. I don't know if we should necessarily turn the army loose on the city. I think it would.
We can repurpose the army. I'm not going to set them loose.
The bargaining chip, or at least some of them are the bargaining chip with the active market.
Are you going to reprogram it?
We only need one for that. What to do with the other 900?
Remember what you guys? What do you recall? Why don't you share? What do you recall about what the plan was with Pakabar?
We were going to offer him another option in exchange. Instead of bringing him what's his face, we're going to try and bring him something, make another offer, something that he likes, and we know he likes rare droids.
Right, so we just need to bring them the rarest one.
Is it? Yeah. Let's bring him a few.
Can Pash hear all of this transpiring over the comms?
If you spend a light side point, I'll say that you turn the said, hey, make sure you keep your comms on. You're maybe underneath the dash of the ship, and you're like, hey, keep the comms on.
Yeah.
So you want to do this?
Oddball points out that droids can be repurposed. Look at me.
Well, we could take the rest. Maybe the rebellion could use some, or the separatists here. And if you always wanted a pet destroyer, that we have room on the ship for one.
Pash is currently doing quick calculations on what he believes he can get on resale for these droids.
There's always the rebellion for one. They're not keen on making use of these droids only because there's a specific association with them. But there are more desperate groups, and there are, of course, mercenaries who may, take this. So yeah, like if you can get these things from to the Argent Shadow, somehow you could turn a pretty good profit on some of these.
Kev,
Right, seller or buyer.
so the way I understand the Star Wars universe is some of the droids are programmed with like a hive mind.
Yep.
they're like, bees or ants or whatever, but others are given like a distinct personality and a mind.
Yeah, the canon explanation for the difference in between the way the droids worked in Phantom Menace and where they worked in every film afterwards, at least the battle droids, the B1 battle droids, is that they fixed that problem between those two films.
Okay.
So
Oddball is only then looking for droids that aren't these hive mind type to see if there are any droids more like himself, like individual thinking droids.
There are. What I think is that the droids can, like, unless their memories are routinely wiped, they can develop quirks and personalities and stuff like that. Because you've
right, but if I'm seeing that it's a losing cause to save them all, maybe Oddball's trying to find the ones that he thinks are the most worthy to be saved.
I honestly, I mean, if you leave any of these active enough, as you've seen in the films, right? Like even battle droids have some kind of personality.
Right.
It's an irritating personality that sounds a lot like George Lucas's kids, put through a voice modulator. But they do have a personality, and if you leave them on longer, they will develop more and more of a personality. Now, if you ask certain droid manufacturers, they'll say that that's a flaw, which is why you can wipe their memories routinely. But if what you're saying is your perspective is that there are that you want to see other things enjoy the freedom you have, if you leave almost any of them on long enough, then they will develop some kind of personality and awareness about themselves.
Right, but some of them may be too dangerous to introduce to society without heavy modification.
Yeah, the crab
This would
droids.
be a lifetime project for Oddball to try and save them all.
The battle droids, like the B1 battle droids, are the ones that they're the little Roger guys. Those are basically just humanoid droids that happen to carry around a gun. If they put the gun down, they're just humanoid droids, and in theory, you could repurpose them to do other things. You saw that one did that back on the planet where you found him.
Right.
Droidicas have repeating blasters built right into them. They have no manipulating limbs, so there may be a limited repurposing that they could be put to.
But
barring
use as ship guard or like guard dog for the Arch and Shadow or something like that.
You could in theory do that, yeah. If you repurpose it, yeah.
Right, but you have to understand the Oddball position here. He's not going to let you just turn one into a dog.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, would it accompany us as a member of our crew to defend our ship?
Sure. Oddball would like to save as many of these droids as possible.
Okay.
So what does Oddball find acceptable in terms of saving? Like they all kind of go free? Because I mean, even in Star Wars, droids are more functional than individuals. So
they are property too.
Yeah.
Right, but that's the slave version.
But is Oddball's his own debt?
Oddball's not a slave to any of you guys.
Right, but so all of the droids are just gonna kind of go and just be independent actors within the universe. Is that Oddball's thought?
Yeah, I mean, if they could be set up that way, sure, that would be the best scenario.
Do you think that would take a lot of time? We'd have to convert this army into something else.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oddball realizes that it might take too much time, so that's why he was searching for ones that he would already consider had developed a personality as opposed to ones that had lived their lives as ants.
No. What about the what's it called? The strategy, the tactical ones.
Pash can sell those. So I mean, Pash will let Oddball kind of sift through the ones that he feels are salvageable, and he's already trying to get contacts to basically offload the other ones.
Let's. I'll just a quick reminder, guys. Here, so that's what a crab droid looks like.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if I need to share this, but Droideka, obviously, and we all know what the battle droids look like. So.
Oh, on the weapon systems on like a crab droid or anything like that, or even the droidekas, could they be used to upgrade any of the stuff that we have, either on the Argent Shadow or the speeders or anything like that?
The weaponry that's on those things is all anti-personnel, not anti like anti-tank or anti-vehicle.
Okay.
So like in a game sense, they all do personnel scale. They don't do starship scale damage.
Okay. But maybe we could put like the droid at one, like, I don't know. This is just, I'm throwing this out there. You could take like that, you know, like the droideka repeating blasters and put them on the speeders if we had any use for that or something.
In theory, I mean, they would take up hard points.
Yeah.
Mechanic wise, you'd have to see whether there's sufficient room on the ships room, but in theory, you could do that. Yeah, you could tear them apart.
And I'm not saying that we should. I'm throwing that out there as a possibility that, you know, it would make the speeders combat useful, but it also draw suspicion, and then we wouldn't be able to use them in like some spaceports because they'd be having weapons and stuff, or some planets probably would ban them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just tossing that out there as one possibility. Or
okay. So as you guys are working away on this, and as Pash is getting himself familiar with the ships, Oscar, you've been keeping watch, you said. So you can hear, as they're talking back and forth, and Pash is coming through over the con, you're sort of, you know, looking back and forth, and there's, like I said, rows and rows of these things lined up like, you know, Chinese terracotta warriors, right? And then you realize, you can hear pink. There's the footsteps of something coming towards you.
Oh, I'm like, psst. I can kind of do that.
Yeah.
Guys,
I imagine they're standing sort of near you anyway, so you could in person do that as well.
Oh, yeah. Guys, heads up. So get their attention. Everybody quiets down, and then I'll try to sneak a peek at whatever's coming. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you guys do in response to that?
Oddball is like deep in scanning their the code of all of the droids.
Okay. Dash.
Dash will try and sort of fade into like kind of hide and stuff, so he's not spotted.
Okay. Okay, so you sort of duck into the shadows. This thing that's approaching does not make any effort to try and conceal itself. It is another B1 battle droid. Plank, walking along. It's got a green stripe painted across it, across the head. It kind of walks around the corner. It stops, and its head kind of cocks to the side, like, you know, like a dog. You're not AHAB.
He's still on the ship. We're just doing some repairs, and I point to Oddball.
He looks at Oddball. Why don't you make a deception check for me, please?
Oh yeah.
I need to set the difficulty.
Deception.
Yep, go ahead.
Boom.
How we do? Yeah, okay. So this thing sort of looks at you, looks at Oddball, looks back at you. His hand goes up. Call me ISM-8L.
Thank you, IMS-8L. I will.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Call me ISM-8L.
ISM-8L.
You can call me Ispadel if you like.
Ismail. All right, thanks. Nice.
Okay. He walks forward and looks at you and says to you, Oddball, are you a new acquisition?
I am a new friend.
A new friend. Wonderful. And he reaches his hand out again. Call me ISM8L.
Hi. I am ODDB1.
ODDB1. What are you doing?
I'm
Dash, you-
searching.
Go ahead.
I am searching the inventory for valuable units.
I've got the ship. So
Dash, what are you doing?
I'm worried that this thing's gonna wake up the army. So Dash's hand is resting on the lightsaber, and I'm resisting the urge to attack the bot because I don't want to upset Oddball by like destroying those he wants to free.
Yeah.
But yet contemplate weighing that in my head against it activating this large army and us having our asses, fried.
That's funny. So you're trying to weigh which, or make a decision as to which of the two droids will activate this army and turn them on you.
Yes.
Okay. Brent, I'm
I'm
gonna get you.
I'm trying to but not and accommodate sort of like Oddball's point of view on droids.
Okay.
His instinct says take out the droid before it activates the army, but he's trying to, be nice to.
Brent, would you kindly make a stealth check for me, please? I've set the difficulty for you. That's his name, incidentally. Nice.
And then, oh yeah, I didn't add my blues in there.
Oh, that's good. You've already blues won't give you any triumphs, so it doesn't really matter at this point. Okay, so you're invisible to this thing. It did not. Hold up, Brent. It didn't roll my. Oh, it did. Shit, ignore me. Okay, what? What are you gonna do, Oddball? Pash, you hear this coming over the comm, and Oscar, you see this happening.
Right.
What are you guys doing?
To try to keep maybe talk the droid up a little bit.
What are you gonna say?
I'm going to say, and what is your function around here?
I am first mate.
Oh, that's very exciting. How long have you been doing that?
For any counts out the number of, so it would be 4. You see your 22 times we'll say 365, so whatever that it works out to.
Sure. All right.
For blah, 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 days. Effectively, it's 22 years he's been doing this.
Okay. Wow, that's a long time.
Holy cow, you must know a lot about this place.
I do. Once it was reacquired from the biological.
The biological. Oh, yes. What was the biological?
He was, and he sort of looks over you, Lot, different from you.
Good to know. Well, that is fast. I'm sure you must have very many interesting stories. I'd love to hear them sometime.
That is not my function.
Right. Okay.
I am the first mate. Call me ISM8L.
Got it.
Oddball, because you are familiar with this, there's a weird like popping and hissing as the guy talks as well. Not guy, but droid talks. You think that there's maybe something faulty with his motivator?
That motivator.
Quite literally, there may very well be a screw loose here. That's the last pony droid pun I'll make.
No, it isn't.
It isn't. It really isn't.
Oddball asks, Ismail if it's okay if he takes a look at him because he seems to be malfunctioning.
I will run a self-diagnostic. I appear to be functioning properly. And you can still hear it properly.
Oddball says, I'm not so sure, and he goes to take a look at him and see what happens.
He sort of puts his hands up and says, where is the captain, ODD-1B?
He is on the ship.
Pash, you're sort of walking under the dash, and there's this like squawk from inside the the comm comes springs to life. You sort of bang your head from underneath the dash. You step out, and something's trying to hail you here, but it's not in a. It's in actually. Or do you have any points in computer? Actually, I don't care if you do. Let me just set a difficulty. I'll get you to make a roll.
Super.
Yep, go ahead and make a computer check for me.
If for some reason Dash becomes aware of anything that's going on like this and realizes the gig is up, then
Well, I'm assuming you're hearing all this, Brent.
okay. When it comes to my action, I think I'm going to try and disable the droid, or
You can jump in anytime now. Like this is going back and forth. There's a squawking of. I mean, make sure that you're making the decision to do that based on what you saw Oddball and ODD and ISM8L doing, not what Pash's reaction is, because Dash has no clue that's going on.
Okay, so that's Pash obviously failed, but with 4 advantage. Can we just say that having heard what is happening with the transaction between Oddball and Ismail, he opts not to answer the call?
Yeah, you know what? You've got your comm open too. When you said your comm open, I'm assuming that's both ends, right?
Not necessarily.
I'm trying to decide. What do you guys think? Do you think it would be that you guys would have, because you guys would be broadcasting yours constantly, and when Pash wanted to talk back, he'd pick it up and hit a thing at like a CB radio kind of thing? Or do you think it would be like both ways? Like Pash would leave it open so he could do his shit hands free?
I would say the more advanced thing, like the second, that would be my thoughts off. But then I'm trying to remember some of the old like Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, like
the original trilogy, they're more like walkie-talkies, but
yeah, they're pushing something to talk, make it talk. But I'm assuming you could like it's like putting
you
a
can
rubber
turn it
band,
on.
yeah, around the thing, so you constantly have it on. So assuming that that's capable of doing that. Which do you think of those two scenarios is more likely?
Probably the second. If Dash hears the pinging through, or the comm channel trying to be opened through what's getting back to him from what Pash is hearing from Pash's signal,
Yeah,
then he'll attack the droid.
Yeah, and I think what happens, Brent, is probably like all of you guys hear that same squawking sort of feedbacks through. It's like when we log into Roll20 and Google Plus without muting anything. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's coming from all of your comm links at this point. And this is when ISM8L is like, who is that? And sort of start spinning around. You'll have a chance to react. He's saying that,
Okay.
but you'll get a chance to react first. So what do you do, Brent?
I try and attack him with my lightsaber.
Okay. You will definitely, because of that awesome stealth roll, you'll be close enough so you don't need to like leap in or any shit like that, but you can choose to narrate it like that if you like. Okay, I've set the difficulty. I am going to give you, I'll give you 1 blue because he's really kind of unaware of what's going on. So actually, that doesn't feel like enough. I'll give you an upgrade on that because that feels better. But I'm also going to offset that by using a dark side.
Right. Can you use, no, I guess would I have enough chance to augment my attack with my senses?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Can you Can you add more upgrades then?
Say again.
Add 2 more upgrades.
For your end, if you got stuff from your talents or abilities, or this is for all you guys, if you got that stuff, add it on your end to your dice pool, and just remember to clear the dice pool after you make your roll.
Okay.
I'll do the light side points on my side, but
All right, I will do that, and then I'll do the roll under the weapon, right?
yes, please.
Okay.
Fucking nice. Okay, so what does it look like, Brent? Yeah, and you got enough to trigger a linked thing on that. So what happens?
Dash was hiding in the shadows, maybe a bit further away. So maybe he takes an elongated leap and then comes down, lunges forward with one end, draws it back, and then brings the back end of the lightsaber up and cuts through the droid's head.
Okay. This thing's cut into 3. And so he drops down dead, and that's when you hear another one of these droids that has just sort of walked over, say, and what do you call it? Whose name is QEQ8? And I'm assuming that one of you guys just kills him right away. So you don't need to make a roll for that. I just really wanted to make that joke. All right, my Moby Dick related droid puns are out of my system. Whew, we're done.
I was worried the whole army was going to wake up. Then their droid comes by and activates the whole army.
Well, you haven't seen the giant white droid yet, but he be out there.
After Dash cuts down these droids, then Oddball looks down at the slashed up droid. He looks over at Dash and he says, "Damn it!"
He was going to activate the army. He realized we were screwing with him.
That's your take on the situation.
Okay, so what do you guys do? You really have an unlimited amount of time in here. What do you guys do?
Well, we're both trying to find the correct droids to barter with Dr. Pakabar, and if there's any that Oddball would consider to be sentient or awakened or have a unique personality or be worth rescuing.
Okay.
Because as much as he wants to rescue them all, he realizes it's not possible at this point. He'll mark this location and, have plans to come back and rescue these droids if possible.
There is one particularly interesting droid that is in here. What it is, and I'll just give you the picture again so you can remember what it looks like. It is a crab droid, but it is a modified crab droid. For one, the entire chassis has been painted a kind of bluish green white color. So it has outstanding camouflage on it. It also has some kind of propulsion unit installed in it to get this thing to move it through water as fast as what like an aqua speeder would. It also has little areas where basically battle droids like aqua droids or aqua battle droids can be implanted on each of the legs. So this thing can effectively transport 3. It can operate as a transport or as a vehicle to deliver 6 battle droids quickly and then provide supporting fire. And when you hack into slice into the computer, it seems like these things are this one is terrifically advanced as well too, operating as kind of a like a centralized battle net to sort of augment tactical response by those 5 droids, all of which are painted the same kind of blue, green, white color.
as like a unit.
That is it's unlike anything you have seen so far. And do you care whether or not you've seen something like this before, Jeff?
Not exactly. That's not really what he's looking for. He's looking more for personality than uniqueness.
Well, again, like all of these things that had.
Dr. Bakabar.
Yeah. We lost Brent.
Yeah, I'm right back.
There you are. Nice. So this thing is quite unique. It's unlike any of the other droids that are in there. Go ahead and make a knowledge warfare check for me. Let's just see if you've.
Make sure everything's clear.
Yeah, nice. We'll ignore that threat for now. So that you have heard of these things. These are it's effectively like they're known as torpedo droids, and the reason is because they can sort of all collapse in and then move incredibly quickly through the water using supercavitation, and then they can quickly deploy the droids out, or the aqua droids out. So that's that. Now, with respect to your other issue, the trouble with all of the droids that are in here effectively can develop personalities given time, and can develop quirks and whatever, and motivations and interests. But because AHAB has been basically wiped these things, made them subservient to him, and then waited for 20 years, because HAB has been out there cruising around in this Trident called the Pequod, and murdering people, anyone who gets within the any range of this location. So unfortunately,
So basically, Dash slayed the 2 droids that Oddball would have been interested in saving.
Actually, yeah.
The rest
Yeah.
are, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean for it to play out like that. I was just.
Are you
Okay.
Is there enough of the droids that are down for Oddball to fix, or did I?
Oddball makes a comparison between Dash and the Black Wizard. That's something like what my old boss would have done.
So, that's you maybe try to Dash, pick up the molten parts of metal, and look, they can be fixed.
Yeah, you'll hold up maybe the head. Maybe you can access their memory and just give them a new body.
As he does that, the head goes. Vroom.
I guess Oddball will check if there's any recent backups of Ahab and Ismail.
Okay.
I don't know if they're the kind of robots that would do that. They're probably not paranoid like Oddball.
No, I don't think they would. Both of them had. IASA, Ishmael it had clearly some cognitive issues in his circuitry, and AHAB was spent most of his time out searching for people trying to steal his treasure.
Oddball, I've got an idea. Why don't you take one of the destroyers with us, and it would be a valuable member to our crew, and then you could teach it how to become independent, like yourself. I have no idea if it'll work. Dash is just trying to be nice and helpful. And then you could, as it goes along and develops personality, you could help guide it and learn, teach it to become an individual.
Individuation.
What do you think?
Yeah, okay. Oddball, he carefully selects the droid that he's allowed to take.
So I'm picturing you guys walking up and down the aisles like a kid who's been told he can have one toy.
And to Dash, they all look the same, right? Like all the battle bots look the same, all the destroyers look the same.
Oddball's like pointing at the tiniest little things that it's like, no, not this one.
Yeah, how about this one? You're like, no, look,
He's got a mean streak.
those optic circuits are totally corroded.
Yeah.
No. Well, how about this guy? Look at the sights on that blaster. Who set those? And that goes on and on. So, Pash, you're hearing this over the comm as you're trying to work on this.
This droid was never properly calibrated.
Oddball, would it be acceptable to bring others and then either give them to do mercenary work with others, or would you rather they remain here?
Well, there are a bunch of droids aboard the ship already.
Oddball, I'm going to get you to make just a raw intelligence check for me, please. I just want to see if we can make a connection here.
It says astrogation, but that's just because it's...
Yeah. Okay. So the threat is that you're not immediately going to tell everyone about this. The thing that has dawned on you is like, is it a good idea to bring a bunch of droidicas on board the ship where I know I've got the mind of one slave to the computer? But you don't tell everyone else that.
Right. No, I am just going to bring the one.
Okay.
Like one droid, yeah.
Okay. Now, what are you guys doing with the rest of the droids and with that torpedo droid?
I would say we load some of them on the squid ship, but I will defer to Oddball if he thinks we're like being evil slavers if we were to take a bunch back with us.
Pasha's already tried to line up a buyer for them.
You're not going to be able to contact anyone from down here.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have to come back for these.
We can say that you're mentally running through that process, though, Pash.
Well, we got a big ship. We could probably take a bunch of them anyway. If that is acceptable with you.
Like, what are you trying to do with them? Sell them to the highest bidder?
Yeah, we're trying to sell them this way. Make them free.
When did we
They might be able to develop consciousness and personality over time. And
Pash, I thought you were
combat
I thought you were trying to get away from your slaver past, not return to it.
I have never been a slaver.
No, I'm talking to Pash.
Oh, okay.
He's the one trying to take them to sell. Or are you trying to sell them to Dash?
I was suggesting that we take some and maybe but I would say it's more as if we give them to mercenaries or whoever, or then they'll become active and then they have a chance to develop a personality and become themselves. If you leave them here deactivated, then they don't have that chance. They're just stuck in stasis.
It is. There is a rich and surprising depth to the mind of cannon fodder.
Well, Oddball thinks that we could return for the droids, but he thinks we should only be taking the one that you've allowed him to take and the torpedo droid for trading with Dr. Packabar.
Can you set them to attack any Imperials that walk in?
We could.
Yeah, I suppose. You know what? AHAB probably has some thing set up in here to activate all of them simultaneously. So if you take the time to change the processing or whatever, change the
Protocols?
Yeah. There's a couple other things I guess I want to. First off, Oddball, you're the only one that's going to know what programming you used to leave in these things.
Right.
Whatever you tell people that is in there, you can. I mean, for fun, you'll tell like players and DM, you can tell us what you've left because I'd be interested in hearing that. But you have full control over whatever the hell programming you left in there. The other thing I'd mention, remember these are droids that are designed to function underwater. You don't necessarily need a ship to transport these things. It will just take a really fucking long time. So if you were to say,
we couldn't have 1,000 droids on the Argent Shadow. We have to come back with some kind of cargo ship or something.
but if your point was to give these things freedom, you could, in theory, just activate them, give them some kind of protocol, and then just send them out.
Right.
That may not work with, or and end up well for, say, the crab droids or the droidicas, but
Right.
Or
they may be
anything that runs into them.
yeah, just
Yeah, like he doesn't want to leave them. Oddball wouldn't leave them in a suicidal way. He has plans to speak to the high ups at the Rebel Alliance when we get back to society, and tell them about this droid army and see if they can negotiate some kind of way to repurpose them and give them freedom within the Alliance.
okay.
But he's not very keen on selling them to the highest bidder.
Okay. So what is what's the plan here? Pash, are you okay with taking just the two?
I think Pash's fondness for Oddball kind of outweighs his monetary aspirations. So,
Okay.
I mean, if it's very clear that it's going, like, it's Oddball is passionate about this, and that he sees this as selling his kin, Pash won't antagonize it.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so you get one of the droidicas as activated and rolls onto the ship. Actually,
Oddball points out that the Alliance may reward us for the find of this droid stash without enslaving the droids.
go ahead and make a computers check for me for reprogramming that droidica. And I did spin a dark side. Nice. Okay. So that thing is reprogrammed and is responding to voice commands at this point. So you roll onto it to only yours at this point, Oddball, with that level of success. But you'll be able to work on it further as time goes on. So you now have a droidica on board as well. What's the plan from here, guys? Oh, and how do you want to move the torpedo droid?
Can
And let's
it
take
fit on the squid ship?
on the assault ship. It will, yeah.
I'd say
Okay, I guess I should try and reprogram it too to come with us.
Okay.
It's much easier if it can move of its own volition than we try and carry it, right?
It can't. Yeah, you won't be able to carry it. It's too heavy for you guys to move, and there's no like repulsor assisted lifts here. But go ahead and make your computers check. Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so yeah, this thing is reprogrammed, and it activates with the 6 legs stomping forward. It makes its way onto the ship. All right, so let's. I think what we'll do, guys, is we'll talk a little bit about what you plan on doing, what the plan is from here to getting back to Pakabar to dealing with the Imperials, what the plan will be for next session, and then because Dave and Brent are still on,
Kilimanjaro time?
yeah, Kilimanjaro time, and to be honest, because it's been a long week for me as well, maybe we'll call it a session afterwards. So let's talk about what we're going to do next session.
But
What's the plan here?
Steal the droid or steal the submarine?
So,
And then,
which submarine? The one you got?
yeah, what we got? Yeah, it's ours, right? Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, boom.
I think that's achieved.
All right, right.
well,
Oddball is
I got an idea.
So, guys,
And their parking pass.
I think the way that plays out is Scar's like, I think we should. So, first thing we should do is we should steal this thing. Pash kind of knocks on the porthole and goes,
How about what if we see we can set up a meeting with Pakabar, see if we can he'll take this droid as an alternative form of compensation. We could give the ship itself, the assault ship, to the Resistance
Sure.
as a goodwill gesture. Oddball, you can inform the Alliance about the droid army and maybe come to terms with them. And perhaps with the help of the Droideka, we could create a distraction and get the Imperials either away from our ship or just with the added firepower storm our ship and the two X-Wings that go with it and then leave. Oh, Kev, sorry. The X-Wing pilots, are they still free or did we like...
They're still with Masking Balam.
Okay.
The remember the Chagrian guy? Let me clear my
Yeah.
notes. Yeah. He's the Chagrian dude here on Pingen.
Right.
He was the dock leader. He's keeping them safe right now. So you could coordinate with him. He'll listen to you if you've got some way of getting them from his quarters on into the hangar bay.
The other option we could do is do it more sort of Argent Shadow style, and we have a saboteur, so maybe he could create a nearby explosion that would send the stormtroopers away from our ship to check out whatever happened, and then we just go through whatever guards are left
What is?
and get the hell out of here.
Where's the shadow now, Kev?
Shadow is in that hangar, and remember the hangar is open. It's Coral City 1 is built into one of those massive coral reefs that makes up all the effectively all the land mass on the surface of Hydara. To get into there, there's the like hole that you guys flew into the hangar and landed, and then that leads sheer down into the water.
And can we get what is or where is currently R2-G12 at the moment?
Hiding on the ship.
Can he disable the ship?
The Argent Shadow?
Yep.
If you want, yeah. I mean, it's currently locked because of docking clamps, but
Why would we want to destroy it?
I didn't say destroy.
Sorry, disable it.
Why would we want to detonate the ship?
2 sessions, 2 ships down. Boom.
Because what if we attacked the Imperial Guards with the Trident, and if R2 can disable the ship, they can't use it to fire back. They'll have to engage it just themselves, and we can pretty much like obliterate them with the Trident.
Well, no, we'd have to get the Trident through the Coral City.
Remember my description I just gave you.
And it's out, and the ship is out of water. Kev, the docking clamps, can they be disabled at the hangar or like by the ship, or do we have to go to like a control room or something to do that?
You would have to go to you'd have to access some kind of data port to be able to access the mainframe to slice in and then get them released. And so so I'm make sure, like, if this is the coral that's poking out of the water, here's the water, coral's poking out, it continues all the way back over here. There's a little slot here. That's where they're sort of like little hangers that are poked in there. You fly in and land inside it, but that just leads straight down to the water. You're mentioning the Trident. If someone
So we could arrive at the entrance to the ship.
it's
But we couldn't get in there, yeah.
It's probably about 30 meters out of the water because there's big tides and tidal waves and shit like that. But you could potentially climb up or fly out. I mean, you flew in there. There's no, it's atmosphere outside, so they don't put up a ray shield or anything like that to prevent people from getting in that way. So,
But Kev, we couldn't. The ship is too big, right? Because that would be like taken in the middle of like an urban setting.
what are you talking about?
Dave was talking about taking the assault ship. Like,
It's not. It's really just a kind of a hangar, right, hanging over the water. I mean,
but we'd have to make our way with this through.
Let me just want to try and clear up this. I think there's a misunderstanding here. So, Brett, what do you mean it's going through the urban area?
Like, the hangars are over the water, but they're over the water of Coral City 1, correct?
Right.
Not like in some a rural area.
Well, no, but Coral City 1 is built into the coral. Remember,
Right.
all built. There are some parts of it where they've hollowed out, and it's Surtown. That's where the air breathers go, and then underneath that is some of the water. When it's below the water line, it builds down too, but that's still part of the coral reef.
Right. But I'm just saying, there's no way we could sneak in with a giant like Clone War era ship like that would go noticed by everyone in the city.
no, but no, I think we could actually, because I'm assuming the hangar is on the edge of. Like, it sounds like it's on an overhang. It's not embedded in the city.
Yeah, well, the entrance is in the city, but it's effectively like a sheer sort of wall leading up down to the water, and then like the city is underneath it, where the coral reef is. The coral reef then kind of stretches down and maybe spreads out a bit, but it's not like it. It's not like, I mean, this is not like a normal surface city. The ocean is something completely different. Remember that the wilds here, the first thing you would hit would be fields of Bactelara on the ocean floor, but it's full of shwogas and abyssal karus and vusu fish and all those other horrible things. Think of Camino. Remember those scenes of Camino in Attack of the Clones? Like, how far out do you think they're seen from from underneath the surface?
Yeah. How long are the arms of the trident?
They're as long as they look in that. I think did I post the trident?
Yeah, I mean, you threw a picture up here, but I mean,
So there you go. That's how long they look.
so if we're saying that the hangar is what, roughly 30 feet, 30 meters off the.
I didn't plan it this way, guys, but they're in the Clone Wars cartoon. There is precedent for these things climbing with those tentacles.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Well, fuck that. I think we know what we're doing now.
And you were in contact with R2G12 as well.
All right, boys, let's take our ship back.
Okay.
Well, that's like step 4.
Oh, what's step 1, 2, and 3?
Profit.
So Pakavar getting our other pilots back, and
Yep.
we're rendezvousing with them first. The 2 X-wing pilots, providing escorts. Their X-wings are next to our ship.
So how would you? Go ahead.
I was just going to say about what Oddball's going to do with this torpedo droid. He's going to program it. If Pakabar takes our deal, he's going to program it to listen to Pakabar, but he's also going to add a subroutine that would, over time, give the droid a reason to seek freedom from Pakabar and try to escape. And he's also going to teach it how. He's going to give it a backup drive and teach it how to back up its own systems, so that if Dr. Pakabar was to wipe it, it could reclaim its memories.
Hey,
Okay.
Jeff, why don't you get Oddball to also have it like send us information, like on Pakabar. That way we have an idea of what he's doing. It can be our like spy bot.
Sure.
Okay. So, Jeff, why don't you make a computers check for me? Well, this is going to be pretty tricky. So if you do want to use a light side point, there are 5 of them available.
Oh yeah, might as well.
Hey, Kev.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Trident, in terms of size, it wouldn't fit on the Shadow, would it?
I I will have to get back to you on that. I need to take a look at Wikipedia and see what size it is. The hangar bay, I looked before to figure out the size, but I don't remember offhand. Actually, you know what? While we're planning, why don't you guys keep talking and I will look on Wikipedia. Fucking nice one, Oddball. That's great.
Wow, just made it.
Blam.
Okay, so let me see here.
Sexy.
Okay, so what is who's going to talk to Packabar then?
Well, definitely one of you guys is doing the negotiations with Packabar.
Was it? Well, who was it that was talking to him before? I mean, I was talking to him a bit.
I think Pash pissed him off a little last time he talked to him.
All right.
Oh yeah. So did Dash as well.
Dash is not the social kind of guy.
I think it's just that Packabar may not like the ash suffix.
I mean, Pash is willing to try it again if.
Okay, so Dave, the Argent Shadow is 94 meters long, and the Trident assault ship is 88 meters long.
So that would take some radical reconstruction of the Shadow to fit the.
Or it would look like a really oversized Remora on the.
Actually, the Shadow has a tractor beam, doesn't it?
I was thinking about that today, actually, too. I don't think it does, actually.
Ah, mother of. How could it?
Who is in charge of making the modification? Oh, wait.
Nah.
Why would you want to take the submarine with you?
Because it's a submarine.
Dash,
Yeah, but like, we're gonna just keep going to water planets now. It's like, where should we go? I don't know. Where can we sail our submarine?
Do you have any idea how much Pash can get for that thing?
That's.
Well, Dashwood mentioned giving it to the rebels as a sign of good faith for their help.
Pash doesn't really care about good faith with the rebels.
I would say give it to the Resistance or to the Rebel.
Or to the Resistance.
pokes his head into the cockpit and says, "Excuse me?"
I mean, I guess Pash could be convinced to sell it to the rebels.
One thing I guess, like, if the assault
Oddball
craft,
points out that it's him and Dash's loot.
ooh,
I do believe that we opened the door and let you onto our ship, Ash.
I believe as the correct nautical term is booty.
Our booty.
And Dash has a big grin on his face and he's like, actually, yeah, Oddball's right. It's totally ours. I just let you sit in the pilot's chair because I felt bad because you got a gimp hand.
Well,
I the finger, but his hand is still all a claw.
So that's the way it's gonna be. All right.
I'm sorry. I don't want to make fun of anyone with a disability.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, that's it. Where's the back to tank? Actually, would Pash know about like nautical law, like the?
What do you mean, like salvage rights?
Yeah.
He probably would. Yeah, I mean, like, we were talking before. Like, if I was to pick one identifiable character trait for Pash, I'm pretty sure it's Pack Rat. So, yeah, I mean, I imagine he's fairly familiar with all aspects of grabbing shit and keeping it and calling dibs. So, yeah, what is it you're looking to try and figure out?
Well, is it according to the law of the sea, is it actually technically Dash and Oddball's?
Well, I mean, the greater concern is that this would be super fucking illegal. So this is military. This is a military assault craft that is designed only for that.
And we'd also be attacking the legal authorities with it to get away with it.
Oh, we're attacking them. Well, okay. Well, are we?
Yeah, the stormtroopers are the legal authority in the galaxy. So if you're playing a legalistic argument, I'm just pointing out that we're attacking.
Yeah, like we're already using it like illegally, so who cares?
Yeah. Well, and I think that to be honest, the question of who would have the lawful right to ownership of this thing is a bit moot because no one's supposed to have this.
Sure. But is it technically in a situation like this actually finders keepers?
If it's salvage on this planet, probably, yeah.
So technically it is Dash and Oddballs.
They did, board the vessel, and it's it's effectively flying the colors of a defunct state at this point. So,
Oddball plays back the audio from when he first boarded the ship, and he told Captain Ahab that he was commandeering his ship.
But Pash, it's okay. You can sit in my chair.
You know what? You can have your chair back. It's full of farts now, anyways.
Oddball laughs and says, if we can sell it to the Resistance for a fair price, we can split the profits 5 ways.
No, you know what? If there's one thing that Pash can respect is the law of the sea. And
Admiralty law. I love that stuff.
I think we have the line of the session now.
I like Oddball's idea. I'm good with selling it to the Resistance and splitting the profits for the.
Well, we're spending the money on the Ardent Shadow or whatever, or maybe pay back that guy that we owe a ship to.
Well, you'll get no argument from Pash on that.
So, I guess there's one assumption that you've made here that maybe is not actually in
But the
evidence.
Resistance wants this thing.
Yeah, like what? They don't want this fucking thing. So it was a big long discussion about, okay, guys, we decided after a lot of talk that we'll sell this to you for a reasonable price. And Jams just stands there and kind of blinks. Okay, he doesn't blink because he's a Nautilin. Kind of stands, he's like, we don't want it.
At which point,
Packabar, not Packabar, the Mod Cal who's with him says, well, hold on. What do you want to sell this for?
Do we have? Can Patch tell us about what it's worth?
I tell you, that was in no way to the DM asking an impossible to know question while he looks up the cost of shit.
It's at least
That would be a total Bush League move.
Well, let's I mean, if it's worth hundreds of thousands, maybe it's worth it. Well, it's probably worth it.
Let's see, it's 88 meters long. It's worth at least 88,000 credits.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so
Maybe just give a pile of credits to Buddy or whatever.
I got an idea of I think what it's worth. Like to be purchased, new and on the.
So let's offer it to them at 1/4 of its of what the value
Schwarzmarket.
we think it is.
It's Empire market price
Jesus.
in Empire bucks,
Yeah, I think it's okay.
but that's Clone Wars dollars. Right?
Guys, what is the silhouette of the Argent Shadow?
I think it's a 5. Let me double check.
Is it a 5? Okay.
but Pash has an ability where he brings that down by 1.
No. It's only for a very specific purpose he does that. He doesn't shrink the vessel. He's not Hank Pym.
See, now it's cheap.
Oh, come on. I want to imagine that he actually shrinks the vessel.
Yeah.
Come on, Kev, let him shrink the vessel.
Yeah, you're so unfair. Oh my god. Okay, so I think the thing is they really have. Again, there's 2 problems. Is that even if there was an active resistance, which there isn't right now, they may not really like they're more of a fight from the woods, guerrilla fighters type thing. So their desire to have this thing, even if they were fighting it, would actually likely be pretty low. But they're no fucking dummies, and they know that when problems come, so you don't plan for trouble once it's there. You plan for trouble in the event that it comes. So they may still take it off your hands for a very, very reduced price.
But that's why we're starting at 1/4 of its value.
Well, and I think one of the things they're saying also is that, well, we're giving you some of our droids for this already. That's ours. That's our cache you're taking those things from.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
You said this thing can climb. Can it actually fly through space? Like, is it deployable in space?
No. It's deployed like a drop ship kind of thing, like, or a drop pod, and then it comes out and deploys aqua droids. Let's see here. It's an aquatic gunship.
Well, if they don't want it, maybe we just park it somewhere.
Well, hold up. Maybe it is. What the fuck? Let's see here.
What kind of ship is it?
It actually might fly. Hold on here. So it says it refers to it as a starship.
All right, then.
So I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a look at. I'm gonna go back and rewatch between now and the next session. I'll rewatch those episodes of Clone Wars and see what happened.
Because on Wikipedia, it actually indicates that it does travel underwater and in space.
Well, it says that I'm on Wikipedia right now. Where do you see it? It refers to acted as attack craft and transferred. Yeah, it could travel underwater and in space, so maybe it can. So maybe this fucking thing can fly.
Just tow it out of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
We're not keeping it.
Yeah, maybe if they don't really want it, we'll just keep it.
To be honest, they're not fussed.
A giant flying squid.
Yeah, like, well, every time we go to a water planet, we're set.
Just drop in. Yeah.
Well, you know what? And I mean, to be honest, like, in a metagame thing, I was trying to give you guys a second ship last session, right?
But we just
unfortunately, there's something that happened.
Lasted 5 minutes.
Oh my god, this is a non sequitur for a second, but one of the things, because he rolled a triumph on this, Dave. Vendry started passing off your stories as his stories.
Oh yeah.
So there's gonna be a point going forward where next time you start talking about your stories to someone to brag or whatever else, they're like, wait a minute, isn't that Captain Vendry?
What?
Yeah, he was trying to get favor with this guy, so he was. We were lying to him, and he started using your stories as his stories, and he got such a good triumph on the roll that people started believing it and carrying on the tales as his.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You may not know about this yet.
Anyway, yeah. So maybe, I mean, that likely has an effect on your plans there, guys. Like, this is, I will between now and the next session write up some stats and get some confirmation as to what this thing can actually do. Yeah, I mean, well, let's assume that this thing can fly and can like, breach atmosphere as well. Does that change your approach at all?
Yeah, we won't try to sell it at all then. We'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah, Pash is kind of loath to get rid of any ship that comes his way, really.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, you do owe the Rebel Alliance one ship right now because you kind of blew up the last one.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like there's a lesson. You know what? To be as an in fiction kind of or in game kind of thing, you know that you're trying to locate where this bioweapon lab is, right? You know, it's a traveling Star Destroyer that this thing is built on. So when you plan to assault this thing, having an extra ship would probably be pretty fucking handy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the two
It also
excellent.
said in the description there that some of them are fixed with a drill for actually drilling into the hulls of battleships.
So there you go. Yeah. Okay, so then that's absolutely something you could. It seems like a done deal then. Like, you need to like one part of rescue or of locating the lab is rescuing the spy who was on there. So guys, I think you just suddenly figured out how you're going to do that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we have.
Where was this Trident assault ship your whole life? I mean,
I don't know, but Pash loves it already.
has he renamed it, or is it still the Pequod?
Is that what it's named?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, he's got to change that name right away. He'll spend a bit of time finding something fitting to call it.
Okay. Okay. So, do you want to role play the scene with Packabar where you're talking to Packabar about this, and then we'll call it a session?
Wait, I just want to say, Oddball sits down with Pash, and he's got this contract that he's written up, and he's signing over his half of the new Trident ship ownership to Pash for all future rights on droids that they find.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know, Pash is amenable. He's like, all right, if it means that much to you, I'll sign it.
Deal. You now own half of this wonderful ship, my friend.
Okay. So Pash and Dash, you got your Trident.
Yeah, just tell
There
me
you go.
my half.
Hey.
Yeah, you still have your half.
I know. I'm gonna paint a line down where Pash isn't allowed to.
The ship's got this beautiful stripe all the way down the interior and exterior of the ship.
Pash has already spray painted the line, and Dash gets the back half.
Isn't the back half where like 40
All the tentacles are.
Yeah, pretty much. Good luck sitting pretty on a tentacle.
No, the back half is where those 48 battle droids are.
Oh.
Well,
that's okay. I've relinquished all rights to battle droids to any droids, anyways.
yeah.
Although you didn't argue whether that was prospective or retrospective.
Yeah.
I'll
it was
shut up.
it was prospective.
What's the possibility of programming those battle droids to spank Pash?
I think it's a matter of, a good conversation with Oddball. Listen, you know what? I know we're getting close to we're half hour late or started half an hour late. Can we take a 5-minute break just to go to the washroom?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do that scene with Packabar?
No. Yes. Back up.
Yeah. Okay. 5 minutes.
Not 15.
Excellent.
Is that banana bread I smell?
Hey,
You drop by for some. It's pretty good.
we're on at 8:30. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
What is your charm?
My audacious wit.
Let's see here. It is 3. Yeah, it's my present, so just 3 green.
I'm too green.
What's yours?
I got 1 rank. So 1 yellow, 2 green.
Yeah.
You might be the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have much.
Sweetie, good girl. A good girl tonight, hey?
Hey, good girl.
Okay.
What about your negotiation, Steve?
I think that's presence as well. So same thing. Yeah, I'm not trained in that either.
You got ASS in
I've got ASS in negotiation.
Yeah.
Other social things. Not the most social character.
What about you, Jeff?
he stepped away to have a cigarette.
Just
Oh shit! I was going to say too, Dave. I'll check with you and Brent and Jeff, but I'm tentatively have my vacation back to the PEG scheduled for. I'll drive out on June 1st, and then I'll drive back on I think it's the 10th or the 11th. So that should give me 2 weekends in Winnipeg.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that during that time we can schedule my birthday session, and then we'll for anyone not in Winnipeg, we'll dial them in and do a good, hopefully full day kind of thing again.
That sounds great. Are you thinking of running this for your birthday, or did you want somebody to DM for you? And
No, I'm going to do what I normally do, which is I've got a different game in mind for that session. That's a done in one.
Okay.
Something that I haven't run before, but something that I really would like to. And then what I'm going to do is mail out packages beforehand to everyone, and then everyone will open them up together, either in person or whatever, and then we will make characters and we will play.
can we load your package with pressurized confetti?
Mine?
Yeah.
I will not have a package.
God damn it, Kev.
No, it'll be what do you call it? Like we'll do this. What I'm sort of picturing is like last year was a ton of fun. I'd love to do get Jaden out for the full day as well, and then we can take a break and do barbecues and and we'll plan it. Maybe better to not plan to try and go out later that night because we just probably won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the weekend. I'll send an email too, so you guys can check your schedules. But I want to make sure it's a time when we can all snag a day to do that.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. With I've got the 4-door Jeep now, so I think that Emmy will be much more comfortable on the trip out.
Well, you've already you take her around in it already, don't you?
Yeah, I do, and she loves this one much more so. But I need to get her used to because I need to put luggage in there as well. My plan is to use the back seat for her, but I'm going to put up the barrier to prevent her from getting in the front, and then there's a hammock that I've got as well that sits in the back for her. So hopefully it's something she can move around in, but also lie down comfortably.
Right. And
it won't be the 12 hours of blinding fucking white knuckle panic for the whole time. Because that was a fucking laugh a minute. Brent and Jeff, what I was saying to Dave before is just that I got my vacation back to Winnipeg, planned tentatively to come out on June 1st and then come back on either the 10th or the 11th, whatever the Sunday is. And I was hoping to on one of those 2 weekends, we'll take the Saturday to get together and do a day of gaming.
Awesome.
So I'll flip you guys the dates, and you guys can tell me whether that you'll be able to get those dates free, and then we can plan from there.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm really fucking looking forward to it. And then if we have other opportunities to get together and do any gaming, I'll be happy to do that too. For that one thing for the birthday session, I started planning that I think in like December, so I got something special. Got something special in mind. We'll see whether it changes. It's already changed once.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. So, what was I going to say? Right. So, have we decided who is going to call Dr. Packabar?
Jeff, what is your negotiation or charm?
Oh, good lord.
I think this is a pass.
My charm is a single green.
Her shoulders be rubbed.
My negotiation is a single green.
Okie dokie. I think just running the numbers, Pash may be the best to try it, despite previous history with Packabar.
Okay.
But we now have a much different chip to negotiate with.
True.
Well, you're not trying to trade the ship, though, right? It's the
torpedo droid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, so you what do you call it? You maybe move the ship to a suitable depth for Olvir is happy to stay down, and his colleague are going to stay down in the hidden place. But he wants to know. You can explain to him what your plan is for making sure that Perila is safe. Actually, I don't think. No, he tried threatening Packabar to keep Perila safe, and Perila is. Then he tried to get you guys to kill him, so that he could get it and then pressure Perila into sending some of the Bechtelara crop to him rather than through the rebels. So what's your plan for dealing with Packabar or his attempts to try and blackmail her?
Well, this is such a special droid. It's worth it's worth both things.
Okay, so this is more of a concern for those of you with Rebel links, because if you guys get this information, that achieves your immediate goal. But if it doesn't change anything about the situation between Perila and what do you call it, and Pakabar, then he may just hire someone else to go and take care of Olvir. And then he'll go back to trying to blackmail Perila into getting some of what should be the rebels' crop.
I think this is unique enough droid and war machine that it should we can use it as bargaining for both.
Can we get Oddball to like put in a self-destruct sequence in it, so that if he goes back on his word, we can just
but how's the droid gonna know?
Well, he's already put a specific kind of coding in it,
and I mean it is like it's basically reporting back to us. So we've now got we're behind the wizard's curtain, so to speak.
Not really. You're assuming that he takes for that to work. You're assuming he takes a giant battle droid, keeps it activated, and keeps it with him at all times, not like parks it in a garage somewhere.
Okay, fair. I mean,
because it can only report what it sees.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we can't always threaten him and just say that, look, if we get wind that either like Perila or Olvir have been threatened, that we'll come back and.
I think this is a cool enough find that we could say the price is both.
Just so you guys know, what I'm thinking is that the difficulty of the negotiation is going to be based on sort of how much stuff you want to get out of this. Whether you, because right now you're trying to negotiate to change the deal, which was to bring him Olvir.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to change that, and also to get the what do you call it? To get Pakabar to leave Perila alone.
Yeah.
What if we have tons of like the battle droids, right? What if we threw in some of the battle droids that attach to the crab? Give it like a full complement to sweeten the deal.
I'm assuming you got those. Like it's the full set you got.
Okay.
Yeah. Olvir will throw out there that he'll kill him. For this, he's threatening his brother's wife. He'll kill him. If you can give him the opportunity, he'll kill him.
Oh.
Now, you may remember also that Maskeen was saying before that there's a reason they don't do that. That the rebel he's a really useful asset for them, albeit a problematic one sometimes. And he's never
Yeah, but he's not worth the crops though.
That may
not worth the flow of this this crop,
there's the
right?
adage that may be a decision above your rank.
Right.
Right. So I don't know. I'm saying that just to give you context, because on the ground that appears to be the case, absolutely. But you're not part of rebel control or whatever, or command.
I mean, we can't always leave it up to fate and say, look, I mean, this is the deal that we're going for. If you renege on it, we'll send Olvir to kill you.
The way that Olvir is suggesting it is that he may be doing that anyway.
Why don't we just see what we can negotiate for and see what let's see how.
Can Oddball try and make a warfare roll to see which strategy he thinks is better for the war effort?
Yes, absolutely. Let me set a difficulty here for you. Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay.
Okay.
Ho, 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 ho. Okay, so with a triumph, let me think here.
Nice.
I think that the was two things, I guess, is Olivir, you get the sense, with or without your help, is going to kill this guy.
Okay.
So this is an asset, however valuable, unless you can talk Olivir out of it. But the flip side to that is that he does seem like he's more like, you remember what Dr. Squamtier said. This is the kind of guy who he's a fucking pain in the ass, but for reasons that are big picture, he's worth putting up with. There's maybe other assets or other things that you don't know of that he's supplying to the rebels, where the amount of good that he's supplying offsets the shitty bullshit that he pulls sometimes.
So Pash, maybe you can try to persuade him that he needs to make peace with the Gans because he's actually in danger, and it would be in his best interest to make peace.
Yeah, but then there's always the possibility that he'll.
Yeah, but that's always a possibility with anything that someone reneges on their word or turns evil anyway. Like we can't prevent that.
No, I was just gonna say that if he gets wind that he's being threatened or he's under threat, he may pull the trigger first and go after Olivir before Olivir has a chance to come to him.
Well, he has tried that with you guys. It seems likely with that good of a role. I'll just give you his contact. If he could have done this so far, if he could have gone after Olivir so far, he would have done it. Because
Right, he needed us to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. That'll I can make that the
Like, try to convince him that this torpedo droid should satisfy him. He can give us the information we need, and that our advice is that maybe we could say after we've been to and seen Olivir's position within the Resistance, and the Gan family is much too dangerous for Pakabar to mess with, and we recommend that he tries to make peace with them.
or we could offer to broker it even.
Yeah, we could even offer to try and broker peace between them.
Okay.
All right.
Like we're basically telling them that we think it's best if that's his play. Like we're trying to give him good advice, basically. It's not a lie. It's truthfully good advice. He should try to make peace with them.
No, yeah, we can totally play that angle.
I love that. I think that also like solves your problems of keeping things stable here.
Yeah.
And honestly, like it gives if Dr. Pakabar has to start supplying or assisting the Resistance. But again, there's not really resistance here yet. There's a nascent kind of feeling. Remember, you guys, when you were speaking to that group, there was half of them that were ready to fucking join the rebellion, and half of them are like, "This isn't our fucking fight. Why are we doing this?"
Right, but there's still a powerful group on this planet. Whether they're actually actively a part of the rebellion or whatever, they are a faction on this world. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, well, and also, in terms of for assisting the rebellion, there are at least, like I said, half of Olvir's group will absolutely join the rebellion if given the opportunity. There is no rebellion on Hydara right now, but they're old, war horses who have fought this fight before and recognize the Empire as being worse than the Separatists or Republic ever were, and if given the opportunity, may join that thing. So. I'm walking back what I said before about there not being a resistance. There is, like, if you blow a little air over these embers, a fire's going to come, which is a really terrible fucking analogy or metaphor for a water world, but still.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So then what? All right, let's make the call. So who's Pash? You're making the check here.
Well, yeah. What skill is being used for this?
You're going to use négociation, please.
Yeah, might as well.
Let me set the okay. So remember, he is a canny MFer, but I'm going to give you a free upgrade because of that triumph. Is that right?
Yeah. And And I think Pash will go ahead and use a light side on this.
I think that's an outstanding play. So I'll give you another upgrade.
Well,
there.
we're not trying to deceive him here, so that helps too. Like if he's canny at uncovering the truth and seeing what's a good negotiation, he could see the truth of what we're saying.
Yeah.
No,
Just
and that's the thing is we're not. I mean, it's not a deception. We're just trying to get him to buy it. He doesn't,
Right, but we're not offering him a bad deal, is what I'm getting at. Like being
So-
shrewd at business doesn't mean that like you reject any deal that you're offered. It just means you can see a good deal when it's given to you.
Right.
Okay. So, yeah. Anyone else want to add anything?
No, I don't think I've got anything to add.
Okay. So then, I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you one more blue, just because I think Olvir would help with the knowing him, because he's dealt with Packabar for years. So right, Dave, go ahead and make your negotiation. We'll see how this goes.
So you've already thrown in all my bonuses, eh, Kev?
I have, yes.
Okay.
The ones that aren't on your character sheet, the free upgrade from the Triumph and the upgrade from the light side point and the blue.
Right. Okay. So here goes thing.
Ho, ho, ho!
Wow.
Look at that Triumph.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, shitty rolls at the start of the session, followed by awesome rolls at the end, I think is a fair trade-off. Okay, great. So you, what do you call it? Activate the hollow unit it's also, you're doing it through Oddball's hollow, unit. He's got the little projector on him. And the little, Mon Calamari guy comes up. I'll just move it up so you can see. That's what he looks like again. And he sort of looks over. He's like, Pash, what are you calling for? Thought I told you I didn't want to talk to you. Where's that other funny-looking one that you were with?
Well, you may not want to talk to me, Packabar, but I think you'll like what I have to say.
Oh, and what's that? That you're bringing me Olvir? I'd be careful. Seems like there's a lot of bucketheads up here.
Well, I don't think you want Olvir as badly as you think you might. But we do have something that I think you may be interested in.
Oh, and what's that?
I'll turn the projector to capture an image of the torpedo droid.
He kind of and he tries to he's clearly agape by seeing this. His little mouth opens and closes a couple of times, trying to form words. Cover, trying to hide it from you that he's just so dumbstruck by this. I mean,
Pash will quickly snap the projector away, and he'll say to Packabar, "All right, so do you want it or don't you?"
Where did you find that? Those things were all destroyed. Everywhere.
Don't make me ask you again, Doc. Do you want it or don't you?
So you want the droid instead of Olvir?
I think the question is do you want the droid instead of Olvir?
Well, if I take that droid, though, from what I hear, you just attacked Olvir. What's to stop him from coming to try and get me again? I feel like it's not an equitable trade here, Pash.
All right. Well, if you need me to sweeten the pot, how about we sit down with Olvir, and I'll be honest. I think you need a peace accord with him just as badly as he needs one with you.
Peace accord? What do you think? I need some kind of protection?
You know what? You're nobody's fool, Doc. And I think you know just as well as I do. After the stunt that you tried to pull, you absolutely will need one.
Well,
What are you doing?
Pash, this is a side of you that I forgot about. All right. Torpedo droid and a peace with Gand.
An understanding.
An understanding. What would be the particulars of this understanding? Him not throttling me and cracking my shell, I suppose.
Well, that would be a start.
Yeah, that's something that would be very important to me.
Yeah, I think that's doable.
Well,
But let's talk a little quid pro quo. What is it that we're gonna what is it that we're going to Gand with then?
going to Gand with.
Well, in return for him not throttling you.
What do you think I owe him for?
To leave his sister alone.
Well, that's essentially what. Come on, Pakabar, you really can't be that dense to think that with his sister in the balance, he's not going to want some assurances from you.
Oh, you know about his sister, do you?
Yeah, that's another place you underestimated me.
I won't make that mistake again, Pash.
See that you
All right. He leaves me alone. I'll leave her alone. You bring me the droid. But, well, you know what? Someone tipped off the Empire that you're on this planet. So maybe don't bring it here. You know, you're not the sort that one wants to be seen with.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
What I'll do is I'll send a cargo. I'll send a couple of droids out with a cargo loader. You give me the and you see he's like rubbing his hands like he can't wait to get his hands on it. Yeah, you send me that torpedo droid and then I'll give you. And he's sort of like close up magic. It's suddenly there. This, the location, or the message from your agent. We got a deal? Where are you now, anyway?
Well, we're around. So, like we mentioned, the location for the droid, and you leave the Gand family alone.
All right.
All
They'll
right.
go their way and I'll go ours, but I don't want to see him in my shop or even on Sir Town.
I don't think that'll be a problem.
All right. Okay, so we'll say that you guys set up the meeting place. The meet goes off without a hitch, unless you guys want to make an issue out of it, and you get your intel, or at least you get what you think is your intel. With a triumph, you can confirm that it is the message from your your contact. So for next session, what you guys will need to sort out is whether you are going to, or how you're going to get the Argent Shadow and the X-Wings and Lucirin and Baroba out of there. And you now have the location. And you're on a bit of a fucking timeline here now. Like you're on the timeline when you arrive. This is even closer. The message from the spy, it's a woman, gives you the location and urges you to get here, as soon as you can. The plan is you guys arrive, you fight a bit, and the location, I should say, is in a gas giant, not in the gas giant, but it's in a system that's unoccupied that has a massive gas giant with rings that go around it. And the Star Destroyer is hidden within those rings. It drifts along with the rest of them around this planet, and that's where this laboratory is located. The she warns that there is a small complement. Well, I mean, small for a Star Destroyer, but a small complement of what do you call it? Of X-wings, of TIE fighters that are on there. And what you will have to do is keep them engaged for a time while she gets ready to escape. Her plan was to get in a escape pod, jettison out, and have you guys pick her up. If you have an alternate plan you want to put into effect, you can do that, but she will need some time. So she needs you to basically keep the Star Destroyer and the what do you call it? The TIE fighters busy while she basically sets up the base to blow up. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna assume that like we closed the circle and we had a conversation with Olvir and got him to agree to the agreement too, right?
He's totally on board with that. Yeah. If you can convince with that triumph that you rolled, you can convince Packabart that that he leaves him alone and he won't kill him. That seems like a good enough resolution.
Okay.
Olvir's not thrilled with it because he really wants to kill this fucker for what he did. But you guys managed to convince him that this is the best plan for now.
Okay.
So then, then maybe what we'll do is we'll close on that where you've got the message, and maybe what we'll do is it's a scene. Sort of like you guys start playing. You can picture you start playing the message from this spy, and then it's sort of like she starts talking, and then it sort of it goes to a voiceover, and it cuts to a different scene, and we see this blonde woman dressed in this really sterile lab, dressed in imperial grays, who is making her way around, and behind this behind the glass window of this lab, or looking into this lab. She's maybe on the outside. There's a bunch of scientists who are at work in there. There's, droids very similar to Oddball who are moving things around. The scientists are all human and they all look quite serious. And then she sort of, makes sure that none of them are watching. And she goes over to a computer and she kind of, flicks away on this thing, and you start seeing a bunch of names going by. And then there are at the top of each is test subjects, and she's like, put the Star Wars equivalent of a chip in there, or not chip, but a what do you call it? A thumb drive. Then the door kind of opens up, and she kind of turns around, and this person walks in, and we can see that there's the Star Wars equivalent of a little loading bar going, so it's saving to the drive. And there's names flashing on the screen. There's lists of names flashing on the screen as this is doing this. All test subjects. And this guy comes in and he's like, "Hey, so what are you doing in here?" He's like, "Oh, just finishing up the shift." And so I thought it was in. So this goes on back and forth for a little bit while she's sort of waiting. And we've all seen these things a zillion times in movies. This thing goes down until finally there's a he says, "Well, I guess I'll sit down and take my shift now." He's like, "No, you know what? Could you do me one more thing? I forgot to get the whatever form." And he's like, "It's all the way back at the." And she's like, "I know, but I needed to finish the shift." And he's like, "You owe me, Sabak, next Tuesday." And she's like, "Oh, of course. I'll pretend to lose this time." So he kind of laughs and walks out. And then she turns around and she grabs the disc. And there's all these names and whatnot. She looks at it. Her face from the joyful kind of, interaction and friendly expression, it is fucking stone now. No expression whatsoever, just all determination. She looks down and then pulls this thing out, positions it in a seam that was hidden, a pocket inside a seam in her clothing. And then turns and waits for him. As she's doing so, she looks back and sees the computer terminal still on, and then reaches over to turn it off. And then as she's reaching down, we can see that at the very bottom, it's all listed alphabetically. And at the bottom of one of those is one name that we all recognize as viewers. And the name is Vendry Duralm.
Oh!
And it turns off. And then we, ba-da, and the credits roll, and we will save the rest of the escaping from the planet of Hydara and assaulting this bioweapons lab for next session. So for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us for the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. We hope you enjoyed this return to our ongoing Star Wars campaign, and we hope to see you again in about 2 weeks' time.